Just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
I got Ben Rogers' father-in-law in the house today. I got the mayor of Sono in the house today. I mean, this is incredible. We're live today here, ladies and gentlemen, making it happen with you. We are live at Say It Loud and Say It Proud, because we are live with you at your Smoky Mountain Brewery, beautiful Turkey Creek. No, we're not in Turkey Creek. Where are we, Bino?
We're in Maryville.
Thank you.
Maryville.
That's one mistake. Count them, Bino. Count them today.
No.
Count them, Bino.
No, I'm not good at math.
Count the details, Bino. Oh, you're a real funny guy. Shout out to my man Brad, who brought by some Choco-covered peanuts from the Brent Hubbs brand. That is the greatest.
Those are very good.
HUBS. That's the greatest thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Very good.
Doinker's in the house today. It's unbelievable. The standard peanut, the Hubbard Peanut Company, you can only get them over at the marketplace, over right next to, right next to the greatest seafood place in the whole wide world, Bino.
Chesapeake's.
Oh,
come on. Fantastic.
Come on, Beanstar.
It's where I'm eating Christmas dinner.
Bino, how fired up, focused, and prepared are you tonight for Alabama, Oklahoma, total traditional matchup, ABC, Friday night television, brawl for it all. Where are you?
I'm not sure you could get any better first-round matchup,
No.
Tony. That's fantastic. It's the first football game I've looked forward to in some time.
And by the way, how about this? Johnny Boy's here. Hey, when the barber leaves the barber chair,
oh man,
to come hang out with you.
Yeah.
When the barber leaves the barber chair, come on, brah. Goal! It's unbelievable.
Somebody got the B team going on.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, somebody's getting a B team haircut over at Broadway. It's a beautiful. You see a shirt there, Bino? Championship parade repeat. Boston.
I see it.
Huh, Bino? Guy's a Red Sox fan.
Boston.
Hey, Beanstar, let's talk.
Yes.
What's your level of pump right now? Two things. Hoover is now in the transfer portal, who Hughie said last week, from a long ball standpoint, really fits the ethos of Heupel. The guy doesn't run the ball at all. We were looking into him today. If you look at his running numbers, the guy doesn't run the ball. He's not a willing runner.
Yeah.
The guy I want, if the guy from Old Dominion's not available, if you give me a choice between the guy at Cincinnati, whose parents live here now, the guy at Arizona State, or Hoover, I'd take the guy at Arizona State. He runs the ball. I want a guy that runs the ball.
If we are, you have got to be kidding me.
MLK's in the house, y'all.
Got to be kidding. If
we're in
that realm, Tony, if we're in that realm,
yeah,
I'm happy.
Any of those guys, in other words, any of those guys.
We got to go get a guy of that magnitude. If I had my choice, it would be the kid at Arizona State. But if we're in that realm, I've got no problem.
Jim Knowles has been over at UT all week. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's been over at UT all week, kind of observing.
Found a bunch more naughty than nice on that side.
I wonder how many of those coaches, Bino, live to tell about it next year on that side of the ball.
I don't know. Like you've talked about before, it's kind of been his history to just come in and take what's there.
Take what's there, yep.
I don't know that there's going to be any great moves, but I guess the main thing is where does he fall into the staff, and what happens with Inge if Knowles is the linebacker coach.
What's this MLK guy done, Bino? His name is Martin Luther King, by the way.
Yes.
As he showed us on his driver's license.
Yes.
That's a lot to live up to, by the way.
Yes.
This guy has his own holiday, but he's come in here in full Ohio State regalia today. What is this?
He's flying his colors, Tony. That's all I can say. He's here.
Are they winning the tournament?
He's here
In your
supporting the
humble
show.
opinion, are they winning?
For some reason, I do not think they're going back.
Angel,
to back.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
I don't think they're going back to back. I can't tell you who's going to beat them, but for whatever reason, I don't think they're going to win it.
I agree with that. From the outset of the tournament, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask Brian. I asked our cast and crew last night as we laid down another exciting edition of Winners and Losers. And by the way, presented by our friends at Dos Equis, the great Lee had a great point last night. You imagine if you took those two G5 teams and unplugged them from that thing, take them off that bracket, plug Notre Dame into the Ole Miss game, Notre Dame at Ole Miss tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
How unbelievable of a football game would that
fantastic.
be? Instead, we got to play around, and we got to act like we have to please everybody, right? Because it's a society we're living in. Yeah. Everybody gets a juice box. No, you don't get a juice box. And then it would be the other game would be either Texas with Oregon or Vanderbilt at Oregon. Bino, what would you rather see, Texas at Oregon or Vanderbilt at Oregon?
I'd rather see Texas at Oregon.
I'd rather see Vandy at Oregon. Because I'd like to see Pavia go out there. I want to see Thug Flutie play one more game that matters.
I'd rather see Vandy in Birmingham where they belong.
Huh? They don't belong there. They're 10-2, Shepherd.
Historically belong.
Interesting. 865-200. Alan Ward calls that guy Thug Flutie. That's a great name for him, isn't it? I wish I'd have thought of that.
Man, that is fantastic.
Thug Flutie.
That is terrific.
Let me say this about my friends at Smoky Mountain Brewery. They are one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants. Here's the deal. You get somebody a Copper card this time of the year, and they can use it at the aforementioned Chesapeake's. They could use it at the Marketplace. They could use it at Calhoun's. They could use it here. They could use it at
Copper Cellar.
Copper Cellar. Thank you. They could use it at Cappuccino's. They could use it at Cherokee Grill. You talk about the gift that pays, the phrase that pays. And I want to thank our sound man today, Chase, for helping us out because he was a great sound man. He's got it sounding good in here. He dialed it in.
Yes.
All right, Bino, 1 to 10, what's your level of excitement for the playoff?
I'm about a 7 or 8, Tony.
Yeah, I'm about 6.5.
7 or 8.
I just don't feel last year, 1 year ago, I can still remember that. Did we play on Friday night last year?
I think we played on Friday night last year.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we went off first.
No, they went off last. Saturday.
Oh, we went off last, Saturday night. You're right. Because Friday night was Indiana, Notre Dame. That's right. You're right. We went last. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Oh, man.
I know we went off whenever it was.
Somebody went off.
We went off the bracket, and Ohio State went off, and we went off the bracket.
We got offed, I guess is what you
yes.
A way to look at it.
That is more correct.
865-200-5. Oh, hold your numbers. I'm probably 6.5. I'm just not real. I don't know. I wish we had better matchups tomorrow, Bino. Because really, after the first two games, those other two games are stupid. You play your whole season.
Yeah, no, they are.
And you have two stupid matchups.
Yeah, they are.
Why? What are you pretending
it's
for?
It's an easy fix.
What are we pretending for?
It's an easy fix. You put the best 12 or 16 teams in the bracket. There are no automatic bids.
Yep.
And if a group of 5 team has a season when they're ranked in the top 12 or the top 16, they're in. If they're not, they're not.
Come on out, eat some lunch, talk some sports with us. We're out here for a few. It's unbelievable, Andy. It's a beautiful thing, making it happen with you. Shout out to my man Brad, who wants to create more work for me. Brad doesn't think we do enough. Wants to create more work. Laura's going to be really happy with him when I tell her what he's got in mind.
Well,
I hope his phone's on later. All right, Bino, let's talk quarterbacks. You said you would take any of them. I'm going to give you a choice because I think it's going to come down to either the Levitt kid. I think Tennessee's going to get a legitimate quarterback. Let's put it that way. I think this time around They're not going to be fooling around late, waiting. I really do think and I do know that there is sticker shock over these guys, but the bottom line is you got to have one if you want to fill the team now, and these kids are in charge and the agents are in charge, and it is what it is, okay? So with that in mind, we got the Hoover kid at TCU, who Hughie told us last week is the best long ball thrower in this deal. He's a guy that can really get it up there and get it out. That's his opinion. Somebody listening to me might have a disparate opinion of that. Hey, I honor that. Whatever. We're all in this love together. Al Jarreau. The second thing to keep in mind. So we've got that to talk about. Him. We've got the kid from Ewad's Cincinnati Bearcats who's now in the portal, who's a feast or famine guy. Boy, when he's good, he's really good. And he can run around and make plays. And then the third one is the Levitt kid at Arizona State. Personally, I want that Colton Joseph guy who, and this is what I was told yesterday, San Diego State and Virginia Tech have done a really nice job with him. Why couldn't Tennessee go in there and flex on Virginia Tech or San Diego freaking State? Are you kidding me?
Well, you would think unless he wants to be on that side of the country, they could certainly flex on San Diego State. You know, with Franklin going into Virginia Tech, they probably got more pop than they would generally have. You're not just going to go in there and muscle them around, I wouldn't think. If you ask me in order, I think it's essential that you be able to run in this offense. So I would go Levitt first, Sorsby second, and the kid at TCU third.
Thank you. 865-200-5402. I'll say this about bowl games so far. So far, an uneven showing from the bowl games, from the teams that participate. The team Butch Jones played last night wasn't really interested. And Butchie Boy got himself a Stanley Cup Game 7 championship victory in some bowl game nobody looks at, right? Opposite an NFL game. Butchie Boy's down there acting like he won the 7th game of the World Series.
Of course he is.
And then you got, I'll tell you what, that game the other night with those two quarterbacks, well, my boy Gaspipe hit the back of his head and left the field.
Gracious.
I called you after that, Bino. I said it's a good thing these bowl games don't matter to these kids because these quarterbacks are out here getting slogged around like crash test dummies.
I'm telling you, he jumped and kind of got undercut, and the first thing that hit the turf with his head. Whew, goodness gracious! I was just happy to see him sitting over there on the sidelines with his eyes open.
And he did do the old jump throw like he was back in the late '60s.
Yeah,
he jumped up in the air like he was Gary Beeben or something, Bino, letting that ball go.
Yeah, they flipped him like a shortstop out there.
Back when you could contact the shortstop. All right, Hughie on the other side. We'll come back. 865-200-5402 is the numero dos. We are live today. We are at Smoky Mountain Brewery. We are here in beautiful Maryville. We're right out here next to where the Calhouns is. It's absolutely outstanding. Come out and see us, eat some lunch, talk some sports. We already have some folks in here. Bino, it's like our little Christmas party in here, bro.
It's fantastic to see these guys.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, been a while. Since I've seen several of them.
It really warms your soul, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's the best thing about this.
Yep. Cinco Malienko said he's coming out.
Wow. Cinco, public appearance?
When's the last time you saw Cinco Malienko, Bino?
I think it was
from Latvia.
I think it was coming out of a baseball game.
Goal! Did you think that was when W. Lynn's index card hit the ground that Byron unearthed yesterday on the blog of his 2014 playoff?
No, I would guess W. Lynn was just sitting out there at Lindsey Nelson earlier that day sketching that out.
As we come back on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your Tony Basilio show. We break it down scientifically on a Friday, and we do it with the greatest of ease after this.
Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations, Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall.
Calhoun's invites you to leave the cooking to us all holiday season long. Between now and the end of the year, feast without the fuss when you host at the holidays. Don't you dare cook. Go absolutely next level with this offer. Between now and the first of the year, Calhoun's is offering an incredible deal on delicious turkey or prime rib dinner. You could feed from 5 to 10 people at your home holiday gathering, not lift a finger of preparation. The turkey dinner comes with amazing sides like mashed potatoes, peas, melt-in-your-mouth gravy, dressing to die for, fresh rolls, cranberry sauce, and homemade cheesecake. And that prime rib dinner features amazing melt-in-your-mouth prime rib, fresh mashed potatoes, au jus, green beans, gravy, rolls, horseradish sauce, and delicious fresh baked cheesecake. This amazing offering is available now through the new year. Call to place your order today. More information found at holidayfeedpack.com. Again, that's holidayfeedpack.com. Feast without the fuss this holiday season with Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. And get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Tony Basilio, proud to bring to you Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Alan, 'tis the season of giving, and you're in a giving mood.
We're in a giving mood, Tony. We're extending this sale, this 40% off sale. And to the Tony Basilio loyal listeners, of course, we're going to do the 45% off using code word Tony. And because it's the time for giving, if you use that Dave promo code, we're going to give you 45% off. But get this, Tony. We're not going to give you a warranty. We ain't going to give you a warranty because we know if you use a negative promo, you're going to have problems with your floor.
The great thing, though, with the Supercore floor, Alan, and you've proven this over at YouTube, is it's hard to have problems with your floor.
It's hard to have problems, yes, Tony. You don't have claims. I mean, we literally don't. We've got a remarkable product. It's waterproof, pet-proof. It's even mother-in-law proof for the holidays. So there you go. We have 120 different Supercore floors. It's got a lifetime warranty. Room visualizer. You can take a picture of your room, drop our floor right into it. We've got all this stuff in stock here in Johnson City. We ship nationwide for free.
120 Supercore floors, 45% off through the new year. Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Anything else for us?
Go Vols, Tony.
Love it. WeShipFloors.com.
I love it. We love it live. WeShipFloors.com. It's outstanding. Tony B. back with you. 865-200-5402. Hold your calls for later. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chillins of all ages, we proudly bring to you another Hugie Bear Friday. Huguenin, I've asked all my guests today, you're presented by Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage, helping East Tennesseans move since 1887, 138 years, 5 generations. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Residential, commercial, they do it all for you at Gouffon Moving and Storage. All right, Hugie, let's get into mixing in the hunting, in the mix. What is your level of excitement for the 2 really legitimate playoff games and the 2 Crip games this weekend? It really has dulled my enthusiasm for the playoffs. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, I agree. If we were on the eve of the NCAA basketball tournament, I'd be jumping up and down, waiting for the games. I'm extremely interested in the A&M Miami game. Interested in Alabama, Oklahoma, and uninterested in the other 2. I still got Christmas shopping to do, and tomorrow night, Oregon, James Madison, I'm thinking that by the time the second half kicks off, I'm out among the other people who waited too long to Christmas shop, because I don't think James Madison can hang with Oregon. We've already seen the Ole Miss Tulane thing. Maybe Kiffin being gone makes it a little bit more interesting, but it is a underwhelming first weekend for the college football playoff, and that's extremely unfortunate, I think, if you're a fan.
It's sad, man, because, my boy Nashville Lee last night, I haven't even considered it because I guess I'm a simpleton. I'm just doing a talk show every day. But what if you took two legitimate teams and plugged them into those other two games? Like you took Notre Dame and put them down there at Mississippi, which is what would be happening. That would be I was talking to somebody today in the profession. They said that the folks at Mississippi are saying this is one of the largest economic impacts on their community they've ever had, this playoff game. Are truly that thrilled to be hosting a college football playoff game that they're expecting like a $65 to $70 million impact. Some people are estimating in their community for this weekend. I mean, that is imagine now if they brought Notre Dame in there and you had somebody of repute, Beanstar.
Yeah, it's a shame because tonight and tomorrow could have all been fantastic. As it stands, the first two games are very good.
Very good.
You just have to turn your mind off in the next two.
Yeah, and
you shouldn't have to do that.
Or you go over you go to our friends at VIP Play, just make a couple bets and keep yourself interested and amused, because that's about what it's going to take. You're going to have to watch those games through the lens of the point spread. But Hughie, let's talk about tonight, my friend, because this is compelling. I mean, you tell me that Alabama and Oklahoma get on the field together, all that tradition on one field, 3 games in 1 year, Alabama on a 2-game losing streak, and Alabama with that Mormon running game. Do they get through it tonight? What do you think?
I don't think so. I know it's hard to beat a team twice in 1 year. I know Oklahoma's offense is not very good. Alabama's running game has, instead of getting incrementally better as the season has progressed, it has gotten incrementally worse as the season has progressed. I think they've gained 140 yards total in their last 3 games on the ground. Now, that obviously skewed a little bit by the -3 against Georgia in the SEC championship game. And maybe Jam Miller is healthier and can do something. But the Alabama offensive line has not been impressive. Ty Simpson has been asked to do too much and has sort of fallen way back. He is talented. They have good receivers. Bernard is really a difference-making kind of guy. And one aspect of this I think has been overlooked by a lot of folks. Mateer hasn't played for a while, and that actually might be a plus for him. He had the hand surgery and has not looked the same, but he also now hasn't taken any hits in 3 weeks on that hand. So maybe that hand is healthier. He can do a few more things. Maybe he's more amenable to running the ball. Maybe his deep ball touch is improved a little bit. Oklahoma has some explosive guys on the outside. But to me, the big difference in this game, Oklahoma's defense is noticeably better than Alabama's. I know Alabama's 3rd in the SEC in total defense. Oklahoma's 1st, and I think the yard difference is like 11. But watching Oklahoma play defense, they're always more impressive to me than Alabama on defense. They crush the run, and then they get after the passer. And that's what, if I'm an Alabama fan, I am terrified that we're not going to be able to run the ball, and Brent Venables unleashes the dogs on Ty Simpson, who gets hit, on 50% of his dropbacks, which I think is a possibility. So I think I'm not sure this is going to be an aesthetically pleasing game, but I think it will. It'll be sort of the old-fashioned hard-hitting kind of game. Turnovers obviously going to be magnified, and Mateer is known to turn it over. But I think the home field in Norman is a gigantic positive for OU, and I think Oklahoma beats Alabama twice in 1 year, which will lead to a bunch of people saying, see, Alabama had no business being there.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are breaking it down scientifically with Hughie, and we're talking about tonight's game, Bama and Oklahoma, which is a wonderful game. Brian Hartman just gave us the stat, Hughie, that no one in the history of college football has ever defeated Alabama twice in one season. I just wonder if DeBoer knows what he's gotten himself into, because if they lose that game tonight, hey, Bino,
if they lose this game tonight, there'll be people saying, Kalen DeBoer, here's an airline ticket, go to Ann Arbor, don't look back.
Yes, sir. And that's a nice way of saying it. Somebody might even call Gufon Moving and Storage out of East Tennessee. One of these Alabama fans listening to us. I think they did it with Bill Battle, putting for sale signs in your yard. The idea that Alabama never has lost to a team twice in one season, what's that? How many times have they played a team twice in one season? 4 or 5. But that is an interesting aspect of this. Yes.
The first game was in Tuscaloosa. Oklahoma broke Alabama's long home winning streak. But I'm interested in seeing if the time off has helped Mateer. Because he was a playmaker early in the season, hurt his hand, and that part of his game sort of went away. But their Venables is a really good defensive mind.
Yes.
He loves to blitz. And again, the idea that Alabama's running game has disappeared. If you don't have to do anything special to stop Alabama's running game, Ty Simpson is going to be hit a hell of a lot tonight.
What's your read on the night, Bino?
Guys, I've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on this game. I guess my historical view of Alabama just won't let me believe that Oklahoma's going to beat them twice or 3 times
in a year.
No, it'll be 3 times in 2 years. This is only the second
3
time
in
they've
2
played
years.
this.
Yeah.
But it'll be 3 times in 2 years that they've beaten them. And the Alabama, in my mind, just I can't see that happening. I think Oklahoma is probably slightly better than Alabama, especially with Alabama struggling to run the football. But I've come to the conclusion, and I changed my pick. I think Alabama's going to find a way to win the game tonight.
And then there's the Kansas.
And they go in there as a 1-point underdog. And I love historical powers when they're catching points. They do it so infrequently, and I just love it.
But, Bino, they can't run the ball,
I know,
though.
I know.
All right, let's go back to this.
But, one thing, Oklahoma doesn't exactly run the ball well either. They average 124 rushing yards a game. That's where I think the Mateer factor truly comes into play. I think there's no doubt but that he has been less inclined to run the ball to avoid hits on his hand. I think that his running ability tonight is that's a potential difference maker.
And got my dauber up. The next one, Bino, is the Texas game, which I think is pretty phenomenal. Pretty phenom.
A&M and Miami should really be a good football game. You got a historically underachieving A&M team that looked like that Elko had them on a different path than they're accustomed to being on.
Yes.
Until the Texas game, and then you've got the Cristobal factor, and what does Beck look like on the road in a huge game?
What do you think, Hughie? That noon game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think A&M being at home gives them the edge. I think both these teams want to do the same thing. They want to beat you up with their defensive linemen. They want to hit you. They want to run the ball. They're built from the inside out. I think the difference, Marcel Reed has mobility, and Carson Beck is a lawn chair in the pocket. So I think Marcel Reed's legs, sort of like what Mateer can do, I think Marcel Reed's running ability needs to come to the fore. If Carson Beck has time, he is going to shred the A&M secondary. But I think that Elko and his defensive staff realize that. Beck, again, you hit Beck, and he makes mistakes. So if I'm Cassius Howell, first-team All-American, and I'm Mike Elko, I'm thinking I need to get ways, come up with ways to get Cassius Howell into the backfield. Miami's got a nice running game. A&M's got a nice running game. They both have big play receivers, though I would give the edge to Malachi Toney, a true freshman who is incredibly explosive. And this is a guy right now, he graduated a year early, so Malachi Toney should have just been playing in a state high school title game. Instead, he's the most dangerous player on Miami's offense. A&M has two of those guys, though, in Concepcion and Craver. Both secondaries can be exploited. I think the entire difference in this game comes down to Marcel Reed. I think the crowd will play a big role. That is going to be a vociferous and loud group. Plus, maybe Miami gets sort of mesmerized by the yell leaders and the sort of like, what the hell is this kind of thing, and maybe that is useful for a play or two. But seriously, I think A&M. I think A&M wins because they're at home and because Marcel Reed can run the ball.
You know what's crazy about that game, though, too, is you look at that game and you say, okay, that is a coaching mismatch if ever there was one in a close playoff game. I marvel at what Miami has done because they're in kind of a nothing league. No offense to that league, but they're in kind of a nothing league. And they have a tremendously high payroll, so they're all in a league that's really – they're one of the few teams in that league that's sort of all in, if you will. And they still found a way, Hughie, to lose a couple of football games in a year where they beat Notre Dame.
Right, and they did not even get to the ACC title game. That league is bad. Duke, with 5 losses, wins the ACC title. And I'll be honest, I think if Virginia is in, Miami's not, but that makes the playoff even worse. Miami's payroll is gigantic. They're paying Carson Beck a ton of money. Maybe if in dollar bills, maybe it literally is a ton because they're paying him upward of $2 million. Depending on who you talk to, it might be 2.5, 2.7, $3 million. So there's a lot of pressure on Beck. He's played in big games when he was at Georgia. The games they lost this year, the 2 games they lost, he threw 6 picks. Florida hit him a ton. He played abysmally against Florida for 3.5 quarters, and Miami scored 2 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes. This Miami team, if you get to Beck, you beat them. And I think A&M will be able to get to Beck. A&M has 41 sacks on the season. I think they will make life extremely difficult for Carson Beck.
Yeah, it's Miami does have the wherewithal to win that game. Because the thing I can't decide, Bino, you talk about history, it would be just like A&M's history to lose 2 games in a row at the end of the year.
It would.
Lose
at
that
home,
Texas
both
game,
at home.
Both at home, and give it all back. And that would urinate their fan base off to no end if they did that. And kind of like our fan base. In a year where you make the playoffs, they'd be pointing at that guy going, I cannot believe you let Miami come into your building and beat you. And they'd be right, by the way, Bino.
It'd be just like us. They'd be down there. They'll be down there saying, that's so A&M.
That's, You know, Hugh, that's the thing I can't figure out about this game is, does history even matter at all in these deals, or is it just going to be, because if it's the better team, obviously A&M's going to roll those guys tomorrow, especially with that quarterback back there who's 24 that has a body of a 40-year-old, all the abuse he's taken.
But Miami's got a really good roster, especially their starting 22. They got some backs who can make plays, and again, Malachi Toney is electric. It's interesting. He's another South Florida kid, but he's one that actually stayed home. Unlike Jeremiah Smith, who went to Ohio State. Toney, I think, was looked upon as he's too small. He's a high school quarterback. Can he play a wide receiver? Well, Miami thought he could, and he has been able to. But you're right. I mean, I think that if the players at A&M. A&M has been a choke team for decades. They were Clemsoning before Clemsoning was Clemsoning. So, but Miami, I think deep down their players know that we're not exactly coached by a Hall of Famer here. So I think that aspect does weigh on the Miami players because they've lost 4 games in 2 years to teams they have zero business losing to. I'm not counting the bowl game last year because who cares? But regular season, I think Miami people look around going, we barely got in. How is that possible in the league in which we play? We should have been unbeaten in our league. And you're right, they beat Notre Dame impressively. They hammered South Florida. They beat them up. They beat Florida relatively easily with their defense. But this is a talented roster. But the coaching difference and the quarterback mobility difference and the home field advantage, all of those things are in Texas A&M's favor. So in some respects, yeah, if A&M loses, you're right. I think people are going to go, we're the Aggies, and we can't have good things.
And I love stuff like this. It's a very interesting football game. Bino, which of those two are you looking more familiar to? Or more, are you looking more forward to, rather?
I'm looking more forward to Oklahoma and Alabama, but it's close. That game, the first game on Saturday, is a very, very good contest, interesting too. And then I'll take a nap. Mike, any way that either Tulane or James Madison fools us at all? Or these just
maybe Tulane because they play them already, and maybe Ole Miss. All the turmoil does take a role, but heck, Tulane's lost their coach as well. At least Summerall's still there, but and James Madison has lost its coach. He's still there, but James Madison, they played nobody. I think Oregon. Oregon a couple years ago played Liberty in the Cotton Bowl. Liberty was the Group of Five representative, and Oregon had that game in hand by midway through the second quarter. This James Madison team is better. It's coached better. It's got better players. But if this game is still, I'm going to keep watching into the mid. I'm going to keep. If I'm still watching midway through the third quarter, I will be stunned. Frankly, I've already planned. Like I said before, I wasn't joking. I still got Christmas shopping to do, and I'm figuring I'll be able to do that during the second half of that game.
Yeah, it's a shame they've
when
done
the
this
stores hopefully will be more cleared out. But I think Tulane has maybe a lucky punch kind of chance.
Yep.
Whereas the only way James Madison wins is if Oregon falls down and hurts itself before it even gets into the ring, which obviously is not going to happen.
Hey, Hughie, basketball season's right around the corner. I got to ask you about Kentucky tomorrow. They've got one of these huge intersectional games tomorrow. They play St. John tomorrow down in Atlanta. Is this Kentucky team, Hughie, going to get it together, or are they fatally flawed? And am I going to be on cat's paws, not cat's paws, but Rupp rafters tomorrow, enjoying the misery of the Kentucky fans after that one?
Yeah, I think you'll be enjoying the misery. This it's a bunch of talented basketball players without well-defined roles. They spent a lot of money, a ton of money in the portal. I'm not sure that they truly thought this out in terms of how everybody was going to mesh. Now, obviously, Quintain's being hurt has been bothersome to them. At the same time, the idea that one guy being out has hurt this badly, that should not happen. I think Pope, I think he knows what he's doing. I just think the way they put together this roster, it's almost like we're here we are at Christmas, Hanukkah time, holiday season, people buying gifts. It's like, okay, little Timmy wants X, 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 and X. Well, if he really likes that, let's get him 4 of them. That'll be awesome. But nobody needs 4 toy trucks of the exact same kind. And you look at Kentucky's roster a little bit, and it's almost like they gorged on a few gifts.
I hate it.
And they did not get some of the cooler secondary gifts that makes a Christmas well-rounded.
I hate it for them.
You need socks and underwear just like you need toy trucks, and they neglected the toys and underwear.
Feel bad for the blue.
Yeah, no underwear.
No, nobody feels bad for the blue.
They got bad. They don't have any underwear. I mean,
Hughie,
we have a listener by the name of Martin Luther King, who is an African American man. I'm not making this up. I saw the man's license. It's not a joke. Bino's seen it too. He brought me in. Now you tell me what this means to you, okay? It looks like a digging tool of some kind, maybe like a back scratcher.
It's a back scratcher.
and then a huge extra large pack of dude wipes. Now, what is my man MLK, my MLK, trying to say to me? By the way, they are fragrance-free. Hughie, would you care to speculate as to what that man...
I'm going to stay away from that one.
Interesting. I think that little itch could be telling me something. Hughie, between now and we talk on Friday, give me 2 bowl games that are worth watching, because I'm really struggling with finding them on this card here.
Yeah, I mean, the NC State Memphis, the NC State, which is today, a couple hours. The NC State's leading rusher decides yesterday, I'm going into the portal, I'm not playing. Which is, oh my God. I actually think the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve is interesting because it's California at Hawaii. You know Hawaii will be jacked up because they're playing at home. Cal's got the quarterback who already announced he's coming back. They got a interim coach who happens to be Nick Rolovich, who is former Hawaii guy. So I think that, plus it's Christmas Eve, and if you're tired of sitting around talking with your family, nothing better than watching college football. That's Christmas Eve. And I'll be honest, I don't see another. I'm going to make sure I watch the Kennesaw State Western Michigan game, which is on right now, and it's on that teal turf at Coastal Carolina Stadium. I thought that would be a very good game. The MAC champ versus the Conference USA champ, kicking off at 11 a.m. in Myrtle Beach, which. The regular season, you're 2 conference champs. Where are you going for your bowl game? Myrtle Beach. And I don't know if you guys have been to Myrtle Beach. That would not be a. I have been. That is not a destination I want to go to ever again. But you won your conference, and you're playing at 11 a.m. on a teal field in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Why are we being punished? We should be rewarded.
Bino, does Myrtle Beach speak to you this time of year?
It does not, Tony.
For a bowl game, sort of like our Sugar Bowl. Does it speak to you?
It does not, and it apparently didn't speak to Kennesaw either. They were down 21-0 before about 5 minutes after they got on the field.
Okay. Kennesaw, coached by Jerry Mack, the former Tennessee running backs coach.
That's right.
Dude did a phenomenal job. They were 2-10 last year. Now they're 10-3. With a quarterback who transferred from Wofford. And if you've seen this kid play, you wonder, there's no way he's going back to Kennesaw, because this kid, he's an L.A. kid who went to high school in Charlotte and played at Wofford. He is 6'5", 210, can run, got a nice arm. He is extremely talented.
Yeah, he can let it roll. It's a shame today he's getting rolled because, of course, they're one of my best plays of the weekend. Bino, I was just showing Bino. I put a little bit on that game. Of course, that's what happens when I get involved. But that's why you want a mover you can trust, and that's why Tennessee's moving legend, East Tennessee's moving legend is Gouffon Moving and Storage. They go back 138 years. Shout out to Taylor Gouffon. He's a 5th generation. He's taking over the reins. And here's the deal. They are staying current. Just say you stay relevant and do what they've done all these years. They are leading the way with secure vaulted storage, newest offering commercial storage logistics, which means they offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. All your logistics needs. That's Gouffon Moving and Storage. It's time for our Gouffon Moving and Storage Mover of the Week. Hughie, what you got?
Ohio U. Moved down. I mean, I know they're not playing. They play in a bowl game next week, which is it's called the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, which I think that's sort of a cool name, Scooters Coffee. I'd buy coffee from a guy named Scooter. But Ohio U fires its coach. First they put him on suspension December 1st, and then they fired him this week, and it has come out. This is extremely sordid story. Sort of like what, not necessarily as bad as what went on in Michigan, but still bad. Coach's name is Brian Smith, who played at Hawaii with Nick Rolovich and was Nick Rolovich's roommate. So maybe some of Nick Rolovich's weirdness rubbed off on Brian Smith. But Brian Smith was married. He was in the process of getting divorced. Had a relationship with a student. Then he dropped the student, and then he developed a relationship with another woman. He was seen by players and their parents at a hotel with this woman, and you also got the school saying he was drinking in his office and at football facilities and may have been drunk on school grounds. So,
all right, hang on.
It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where Costanza, like, oh, was that wrong? I shouldn't be drinking at work. I shouldn't be parading my extramarital affairs in front of students and their players and their families. But actually, it's not funny. But, I mean, Brian, he lost his job, and they are playing a game next week against UNLV, and you wonder if Ohio U even cares now.
Hey, Beanstar.
Yes.
He's married.
Yes.
Okay. He's dating a student.
Yes.
Stop me when it's enough, okay? Then he develops another relationship with another woman, so now we got a love triangle going.
Yes.
So he and the student stopped seeing each other, evidently.
Oh. Then he's drinking on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else? And then he's bringing the girlfriend around the family. Is there anything else we need, or the football team? Is there anything else we need to see here, Bino?
Well, there's no way he could go through all that other stuff sober, I wouldn't think. So.
And when does he have time to coach football would be my question.
And they had a good year. They 8-4.
He needed some Scooter's Frisco coffee.
That's what he needed, Bino.
Yeah, maybe he is a big coffee guy to stay awake. But yeah, I mean the whole thing. It's just. Again, it goes back to I'm an old man now, but I used to think that, academicians and people who work for colleges, including coaches, were sort of, they understand that they're molders of men, all that, and young women, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these folks are just, they're idiots like the rest of us.
Well, here's the thing, too. It's like
also, he is the head coach at Ohio U in Athens, Ohio. Athens, Ohio is not a big town. So if you're doing stuff, look, there's the football coach. Oh, my God, I know that girl. She's in my economics class. So it's, that kind of stuff is, it's just not very smart.
Well, and the other thing, too, is this day and age, what you're seeing now with schools is they're compiling dossiers on these coaches, because I think these schools are done paying these buyouts, and they're going to make these lists and check them twice, Hugo.
Yeah.
And kind of keep a log, like a running log on a guy, and then sit down with the agent at the end of the day and go, hey, you remember a couple years ago, here are some photos of you and this girl. You remember this over here? We got a little video of this, and, we just kind of, because I think the days of the athletic departments having the stomach to pay these guys, we're starting to see that now, Hughie. That this guy did a pretty nice job. They could have swept that under the rug if they'd have wanted to.
They could have, right? And that's sort of that is surprising because if you're 4-8, get rid of this guy. But 8-4 in his first year, had been an assistant there for a couple years. But you're right. I think there is also a movement by at least some schools. We're paying you all this money. Granted, Ohio U doesn't pay what Ohio State pays, but at the same time, you are a high-profile member of our faculty, because the coaches are faculty members in a way, and if you're doing stupid stuff, we're not going to put up with this. So, am I naive enough to think that if Ryan Day's a nice guy, he really is. If Ryan Day's not going to do the same kind of thing, but I think Sharon Moore is an example as well. I mean, Michigan's like, I don't care how successful you are, just you're done, man. And because we're not going to be embarrassed anymore. And I think some schools do have that frame of mind. Don't do stuff to embarrass your school. In the old days, you were a winner and it didn't matter. No, not anymore.
Hughie, you're the man. Much appreciation to you. Thanks for all you do for us. My best wishes to you and your family this holiday season. And God bless you, brother. Thanks for jumping on with us.
Happy birthday. Merry Christmas to you and your listeners as well. Thanks so much.
Hey, happy birthday works, too, for Tony.
You're the man, my brother. Thank you, and happy birthday to me. Thank you. He must have known, Bino.
Yeah. He knows everything.
By the way, Festivus this year falls on my birthday. And so we're going to take the opportunity on Tuesday, get your absolute, just your best, just complaint against me, get it ready. And that's air our grievances. Air your grievances with me. And you know what? I might have a few grievances with a few of you.
How will that be a whole lot different than just the regular show, Tony?
865-200-5402. Bino's a clown. So, yeah, amen to that.
Which...
One thing's for sure, I think the Vols have a pretty easy game for our Amachi tailgate next year, Beanstar. Because this Kennesaw bunch, they're in Amachi tailgate form right now, Beanstar.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope they roll in here just like that.
And my favorite Philly just got traded, Matt Strom. Tough day for me.
Before I could find the television they were on, they were down 14-0. There was like 12 minutes left, 12 and a half minutes left in the game, in the first quarter, I mean.
Sounds like an absolute rip job. 14-0 before you even get off the...
I believe that Western Michigan ran the first play for a touchdown, and then on Kennesaw's first play, they fumbled, and Western Michigan scooped it and ran it back for a touchdown or something like that, something in that order. So it got out of hand quick for Jerry Mack and the boys.
This is pretty outstanding. Pretty outstanding. Yeah, these games, I'll tell you what, Beanstar, the thing about these games is one team wants to be there, and what you want to do, Tennessee, when they get on the field with Illinois, you want to put 14 quick ones up. Because that other team looks at it and says, hey, you know what? We're in Nashville. I'm ready for a break. It's been a long season. We've been hitting each other. We're only human.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not getting another dollar.
No.
We're playing hard in the second half. I mean,
hey, I subscribe to the idea in a whole lot of these games that one team wants to be there and one doesn't.
Yes.
But it's impossible to tell which is which.
It is impossible. Before you get out there,
there's no way.
No.
There's no way.
Before you get out there.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, you'll see one of these games where it turns into a street fight. The game we saw the other night's a good example of that. That Old Dominion game. That thing, two teams couldn't play dead on offense, but that thing turned into a freaking street fight.
Both teams had backup quarterbacks out there that did want to be there.
That was the fight club, man.
Yeah.
That third and fourth quarter, that was a freaking – hey, sign me up for that.
That was rough football game.
I mean, those two teams were smashing each other. Hey, shout out to my man, Vandy Joe, who came in here today. Vandy Joe has really fighting the back issues, and he got in here today, and God bless you, Vandy Joe.
Amen.
We'll take a brief time out. Just wanted to acknowledge him on the air. We've got a cornucopia, a list of it's like a who's who in here. I got Martin Luther King in the house. I got Johnny from over at Broadway. I got Rihanna, who rings like a bell through the night. Wouldn't you love to love him, Beanstar?
Yeah, it's all-star weekend here.
Got Cinco and Philly at the same table. I mean, come on. We're live today, Smoky Mountain Brewery. We're in beautiful Maryville, where we be. Another out aura from us. We get a brief time out and come back and bring it back on the other side after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. Drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols!
It's pretty unbelievable and next level and all that good stuff. We're having ourselves a Christmas party out here. Jerry Mack wasn't invited today, Bino, to the party. Jerry Mack decided that he didn't want to attend our Christmas party today, Bino.
Jerry,
I mean,
34-0 here.
People waking up, hey, I'll flip on a little mid-afternoon college football, kind of get me through the day. Good night, almighty. Okay? Okay.
Little Myrtle Beach bowl action.
Let me bring a guy in now who's responsible for me being here today, and his name is Benny Smith. Benny's the first guy to let me speak into a microphone when I was a kid. And, Benny, you're responsible for all this. So anybody that's got a beef with me being on the air all these years later or despises me, who would ever put that guy behind a microphone? His name is Benny Smith over at the University of Tennessee. Hey, Benito, Merry Christmas to you, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, Merry Christmas to you as well. I was just doing my job, brother. That's what we did back in the day at WTK. Yep. And, we just lost Dr. Moore. I don't know if you know that. Barbara Moore just passed. But we just had some great professors there that taught us what radio is about and taught us what community and radio is about and how radio is linked to community and supporting the community, just like you and your living listeners do there with your show, man, and with that station. We learned it well, man, and we put that to work every day, and that's what we're doing with this Capricorn and Copia food and clothes drive as well for the good folks at Care Cuts. And it's a little different over there at UT now, of course. I'm not there, and with WDVX now, but like I said, it's really not part of the community like it used to be when we were there. But what we learned and what we were taught was that radio and community go hand in hand. And any time that we can help raise the community by using our radio voices and support system and listeners, that's what we're going to do. And I know you understand that, and you do that as well with your show and have for years, brother, and I salute you.
Well, Benito, you and I down through the years have talked. You've helped me with some stuff. I've helped you when you got a cause. So tell the living listener what our need is, what you guys are doing, and how we can get involved. Go for it, Benito.
Thank you, Tony. It's called Capricorn and Copia 2025. It's the second year that we've done this, and we did it last year. We set a goal of 200 coats. We brought in over 400 coats and jackets and over 700 pieces of clothing, and over $2,000 for Marty and the folks at Care Cuts of Knoxville. Marty Baker does amazing work, does the Lord's work over there, as they say it. Care Cuts, and started as a free haircut for the unhoused and homeless in Knoxville, and now they at Care Cuts are actually putting unhoused into housing, which is just amazing. And that's what we love about them is they don't just stop with the food and the clothing. They try to help these folks find housing. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's what we're doing is we've got a food and clothes drive going at Barley's through January 2nd. Some of the food items we're requesting are like blue and red powdered Gatorade, Slim Jims, Pop-Tarts, things like that. But we're also really stressing men's and women's pants. Folks, Tony, folks don't understand that the homeless, when their clothes get dirty, they don't have a washing machine. They just basically throw the clothes away, and Care Cuts provides them more clothing. And so that's one of the things that we're doing. We have a bin at Barley's until January 2nd, and we're encouraging folks just to come and drop off any slightly used clothing, or especially some of those food items that you can find at WDVX.com. Or there's a lot of things that these folks need, and we want to help them out and help Marty. And, folks that you know well, like Jimmy and X Hunger, the folks at Garza Law Firm, they're our sponsors, Blank News, Lipman Distributors, Glover Design, and, of course, the folks here at Barley's. And then we'll cap it all off with a big celebration. Sunday night, December 28th, Nick Harrison and the High Score will play here for our big Capricornucopia concert, which you're a December baby. You know this. We never got birthday parties growing up when we were born around Christmas. I'm a December 30th guy, so years ago we got this party together with all us folks who never had birthdays parties growing up. Put one big party together, started at the Jig and Reel. Now it's at Barley's, even bigger and better. We've turned it into something that helps the community, and that is that food and clothing drive that we're doing for Care Cuts. So there you go, man. It's going on through January 2nd. As far as the drop-off, there's our buddy Andy Anderton is helping us out there with the Outlaw Beer bin right inside the door at Barley's. Pull right up and drop off the food or the clothing, and we'll take the stuff to Care Cuts and give it to Marty. She'll distribute it, and then, like I said, we'll have a big concert on December 28th here at Barley's, 7 o'clock, all ages. Nick Harrison and the High Score, Doug Gillard from Got It by Voices, Emmy Sunshine, Serena, Andy Perkle. Just lots of fun, but again, brother, doing it for the community, trying to uplift our community using our resources, using our voices, using our manpower, if you will. And, it's working. It's working.
I'll tell you one thing. We had a couple brutally cold days this week, and my heart goes out to anybody. And, I mean, it could be any of us, any of our family members, any of our friends, what we do for the folks that are in those spots, and we're in a land of plenty here, and I hate that. So one more time, the call to action, if folks want to get involved, Benny, how do they do so?
Absolutely, my brother. It's called Capricornucopia, and this is our second year. So if you want to bring any unused clothing that you no longer need, like coats especially, or jeans, blue jeans in particular for men. And then, like I said, we have a list of food items like peanut butter crackers, cheese crackers, Pop-Tarts, things of that nature. You can drop it off here at Barley's just inside the door. There's an Outlaw Light beer bin. It's a big box, basically, that you can drop it off. It's full today, Tony, which is such a blessing, so I'll be taking it down to Care Cuts tomorrow on one of their drop-off days, and let's see if we can't fill it up again this week. You can do it through January 2nd. That's where you can drop it off here at Barley's, and then our big concert is on December the 28th, where we come together and celebrate all us December babies who never got a party growing up. So, but again, brother, using radio to support the community, great sponsors helping us do it, and obviously you're helping us do it as well, man. So we appreciate you and your living listeners. You guys, I really enjoy what you do, and I've been a fan, but blessed to be a friend as well, my brother.
Benny, you're responsible for this, so I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. God bless you, and Merry Christmas to you, man.
Just doing my job, and like I said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and all your living listeners, my brother, and much love to you.
Thank you, Benny. See, he says a living listener, Benny. He gives a little
Benito
out there. Benito's out there dialed in.
That's absolutely. Credence to the show, lingo.
Benito and Andy are out there dialed in, and thank you, Andy, for that as well. It's look, man, as a community, we got to come together here and do our thing. And I'll tell you, man, this week it got really cold. Bino, were you out there Sunday night into Monday? No, you were. Well, let's not go there. I brought that up Monday, Bino, when you missed Monday's show, and I asked Matt Dixon about it, and he said, only you, Basilio, would bring.
Well, it was quite a streak, Tony.
All right, let's go to the phones. We got to get as many people in here. So that was 1 year ago we played in the playoffs, Bino. A short year or a long year? What was that?
I think it was a long year, Tony.
I agree with that.
Long year.
A living listener, let me ask you, short year or a long year? Between the time we played Ohio State last year and now, that was 1 year ago, and we were out on a live broadcast. In fact, we were over at the Corner 16, the original
Yeah.
Over there off Middlebrook, and we were so sky high thinking we had a chance. And why not?
Yeah.
Of course, we never thought we had a chance, but we was sky high.
We showed up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
Took that beating, and then it was a
crazy off season.
Yes, I mean
it kicked us into a bad place. Yeah.
Yes, I mean just rumors of people leaving and staying and recovering and leaving again. And
you and I were doing the benefit show for the group, the team that had the boys basketball team last year at Calhoun's on the River. That's when the guy whispered in my ear that Gaston Moore had been contacted by the staff telling him, hey, man, you better stay online here because we might need you to come back and help us because Nico and the father were playing the games. And I thought, surely that's not true. And then guess what? The next day it was kind of on. That was right around the holidays, Bino. What a weird chapter in Tennessee football that was. And look, this thing with this Legend Bay guy, I'd like to think that they learned. Two things I'd like to know about the Legend Bay deal is how much did they pay his family to stand up there and say, I do? Because I think people say, well, they're not allowed to pay him. Okay, fine. They didn't pay him anything. If that's the world you live in. More power to you. But I'd like to know how much money exchanged hands. The second thing I'd like to know about that Legend Bay deal is, did they learn from what happened with Boo Carter and this other guy and say, hey, you know what? We don't want to bring a guy here that doesn't want to be here. I hope that that's what happened, that they just said, hey, this ain't worth it. What do you think?
Yes, Tony. I think we're seeing a different sense of urgency here. I think we're seeing I do think that we've learned from both the Nico situation and from the Boo Carter situation.
Yep.
I also think that we've learned a little bit. I'll tell you, I fully expected Tennessee to go into this next season.
Yep.
Regardless of how difficult that schedule was, and stand by their approach of high school recruits first and portal second. I fully expected them to start either George McIntyre or Faison Brandon against that schedule.
Yes.
And now it appears that they're going to go out and get a veteran quarterback. And it doesn't look like they're going after one to just compete for the job. It looks like they're going after one that you have to give the job.
And if you're just joining the three we were talking about before, I think in just surveying the landscape, and I was sharing with you yesterday what a guy that's in an agency shared with me. Because, look, you do what we do. You do what we do. You got to get to know these people, okay? This is what one – I asked one agency guy to set the board for me yesterday, and he said, okay, I'll set the board for you. He said, obviously, this is all subject to change, but he said, I'll share it with you. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But he said this is all agency related. Here we go. He projects, this is his projection now, okay, that C.J. Bailey from NC State's going to end up at Miami. He thinks the Mestamaker guy is going to end up at Oklahoma State. Now, he put Chambliss to LSU. I was talking to Cinco today. There's talk now that LSU might get involved with one of the guys we're involved with because Chambliss is out of eligibility, apparently. Now, again, and I was telling Sean this today, there are so many moving parts. How can anybody be expected to keep up with any of this stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be, it was hard enough keeping up with what you had and the roster. Now I'm worried about, okay, so he thinks Joseph at the end of the day is going to end up at Virginia Tech. Lagway is going to end up at Baylor. He says that either Sorsby or Levitt one goes to Tennessee and one goes to Texas Tech. Now, Cinco was saying that Levitt, Sorsby could be involved, one of those guys with LSU. So if LSU enters the Derby, one wonders, did LSU enter the Derby and did Hoover going into the portal have something to do with the fact that LSU's going to have a quarterback need? Is LSU going to rely on that Van Buren guy who's down there who looked like a pretty good quarterback when he saw the field here as a kid? Do they think they can make a player out of him? And then somewhere in the background, you got the Dylan Raiola guy. You got some other guys that are kind of floating around. But I'm with you. When I hear Tennessee mention with a guy in the industry with the likes of Sorsby and Levitt, that leads me to believe that they're going to be serious with what they're doing here and not just get a camp body.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to do their very best to get a guy that comes in here that you're assuming it's his job.
Yeah.
And McIntyre and Faison are on the waiting list.
And by the way, Byron Brown is thought to be on the way to Auburn. So if you're doing the math, next year Tennessee is going to face Byron Brown at Auburn. LSU, who knows? But I'm sure Lane Kiffin will spend and get a guy, right? He's on the guy who can play.
Yeah.
And throw it around.
Yes.
Arch Manning's back. Bino, does Arch Manning take the step next year, or is he just going to be a pretty good college quarterback and that's what he's going to be? Or does he become a superstar next year?
I think he's going to take a step, but I think he's going to be looked back on as Manning's stepchild.
Yeah. And that Cupper got the genes. Cupper didn't swim upstream. He didn't get the genes.
The quarterback genes, yes.
Yeah. He got the money genes. Then you've got Rex Becks at South Carolina, who's on our schedule next year. We play a bunch. Here's a takeaway. We play a bunch of pretty good quarterbacks next year all of a sudden, Bino.
Yes.
And the kid at Kennesaw is going to stay there, apparently. So you better buckle your seatbelt next year. Now, what we don't know is what's going to happen with Georgia Tech, because the reports are that my buddy Rob Philo, his kid is in the portal and on the way to Florida. So we're not going to see them on our schedule next year. So what is Georgia Tech going to do at offensive coordinator? What are they going to do at quarterback? So for the second straight year, we might have a game number 2 where we're breaking in 2 new quarterbacks in a game of ACC, SEC. Winner walks out of here with life, and loser walks out of here in a world of hurt. Because that's what happened to Syracuse this past season. Is that a fair way of looking at that game from 10,000 feet right now? 2 new quarterbacks with new, we're going to have the same coordinator because he's our head coach. Let's go back to our phones. Bino's excited because our quarterback coach got himself a raise this year, who masquerades as our offensive coordinator. They gave that guy a raise, Bino.
Yes.
That's must be nice. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. I see where the Polish Power, Ivan Putski, is up. Let's get Paulie Power. What's up, Paulie Power?
Merry Christmas, guys. Happy Beano Day.
Hello, Paulie.
Hey, Paulie.
You know, Tony, that's one thing I love about this show is, and you do need to be commended, you do lots of stuff for our community, and I really appreciate everything you do, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Now, I'm going to be working on your birthday for Festivus.
Go ahead and get your. You can go ahead and get your grievance in now, bro. It's all right. I want to hear it. Share your.
The day that started, Adams had the show that day. I remember I called, and for some reason that was the day I called you, and you answered it in the shower. And I said that to John on the air, and that's when everyone started. It turned into Festivus. But my grievance, my only one, it's actually a combo. It's for you and Miss Laura. Is that okay?
Sure, it's your phone call that's going to last about 30 seconds.
Well, my only grievance with you two is you didn't object before I said I do. Have a good day.
Well, that was a short phone call. We did attend your wedding, Paulie, no question. Paulie wanted me to intervene now, looking back on it. I didn't say, does anybody here object to these two getting married? I mean, how are we to know, Paulie? I mean, what are we doing on here, Vino? That's a new twist on a personal shot on a phone call. He taking a shot at himself, or who's the shot at? I mean,
yeah, he went.
Paulie playing 4D chess on me here. I've never had a call like that.
He is. That's some fine Festivus stuff there. That'll be hard to top.
865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us. Let's get Josh in here who's up next with us. Is this Joshy boy who's back?
Yeah,
right where he
boy.
belongs. Hey, Josh.
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Since you've been back under wings, brah, the world has been a better place, my man.
It is a better place.
And by the way, I gotta send you.
I can get Paulie under wings.
I don't think we want him under wings. We don't have enough
Maybe
dude white.
he can have some better phone calls if I get him under wings.
You think Bino? You think Joshy boy could help Paulie with some better phone calls? What do you think?
I was thinking about what kind of wing Paulie'd have to be under. Be one of those prehistoric birds, man.
Exactly, like a pterodactyl.
Or like a bald eagle.
Here we go with the bald stuff again.
Yeah.
Why, Bino? Why do they always bring...
Yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I'm just wondering why bald always comes up when me and Bino are together.
Yeah. So my first question is, do you think we do like we did last year? Do you think Hoover is going to be our first option at quarterback? That
look, I hope not.
In the portal.
I hope not. Now, they did go after him first. The more I dig into this Hoover guy, and I could be wrong, he does not look like a willing runner, and he doesn't look like a runner. If you want to run this offense effectively, run being the optimal term, you've got to be able to run the ball. I love that he has a good arm. I think he's got a great deep ball arm. But in one way, I'd like him because I could go Hoover all year because that's kind of fun. But the fact of the matter is you need a guy that can run with the football. The Levitt guy has the best rushing stats. In fact, if you look at the quarterbacks that are currently playing in the playoffs, the dual threat guys, Levitt's yards, his net yards per game, once you take out the sacks. I hate in college ball how they count the sacks. You can't figure out what's what being out.
Right.
I've always hated that. But when you look at those numbers, this guy stacks up favorably against the college quarterbacks. I want Levitt, Bino. That's why I want him.
Yeah, I want Levitt as well. I think Sorsby is the next fallback if you don't get Levitt. And then, but I mean, if it falls to a guy who was your number one target last year, then that's still worked out pretty good.
But here's the thing.
If it's one of those three, I think we're in good shape. But I would prefer the other two rather than Hoover.
And the thing
do you think we're going to have a budget, Tony, trying to get a quarterback in the portal?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Josh. Yeah, obviously. If we're having this discussion, you better have a budget.
If they're after those three guys, though, Joshy, they're not terribly concerned about how much they're going to spend at quarterback.
You don't think they're going to overpay, do you?
$3.5 to $4 million is what you're going to pay for one of those guys, Josh, right now.
Yeah.
Unless the market recorrects.
And I want the Levitt kid just like you guys do. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback.
What I like about him is he led a team to the playoffs, and winning matters to me, baby.
Agree.
Winning matters.
Right. So for the Music City Bowl, for all these bowl games, we don't know until the last minute of the game if these players are going to opt out or not.
Correct.
Would you imagine we're probably going to be missing most of our first-team defense against Illinois?
No. Not right now. In fact,
so the only guys are Joseph and Carter that's opted out so far?
Josephs hasn't opted out yet, unless he opted out this morning. Did he opt out this morning, Bino?
No.
So here's the thing. I think internally Tennessee feels like that Colton Hood, there's a chance he plays in the bowl game. There's a chance he comes back next year. I don't know if anybody's saying that. Colton Hood, my understanding is getting day 3 grades. He went from first-round draft choice to late in the season. In the eyes of he's getting day 3 grades for the draft, which means that he really slid in the second half of the year, which means he's probably going to be back next year, unless he just wants to go and go for it.
That would be really big if he comes back.
Yes, huge.
And you guys know there's been some scuttlebutt of my guy Signetti interviewing with the Giants.
Wow.
You guys heard that?
I heard Marcus Freeman in the Giants. I didn't hear Signetti, Josh.
Yeah, Signetti's supposed to be interviewing with the Giants eventually, I guess, after they're out of the playoffs or before their first game.
I think that may have been a one of those parody accounts.
Parody site. It's a parody site, Josh. You
got parody site.
Yeah, you got fooled, Josh. Bino, you ever gotten fooled by one of the parody sites?
Not more than like once a month.
Bino sends us stuff in our group chat from No 3.
By Richard G. West a lot.
Yeah, Richard G. West got me a whole bunch, and then No 3.
No 3.
And then 724. Yeah.
No 3's really good.
I've got like this dyslexia going on. And
I like No 3. No 3 on Twitter.
I'm just a trusting guy. I'm easy pickings for those.
I like that guy that was doing Jimmy Hyams for a while, and it really annoyed the real Jimmy Hyams. Like, it freaked him all out, man. He was really aggravated.
Yeah. One last thing, I think, Tony, that we can all love about Jalen Carey that we didn't know when he came in this season. He's a very, very underrated passer. He's a really good passer.
He is a good passer.
He's a nice player, man. Jalen Carey's got a real old-school game about him, and he is meaner than a rattlesnake out there, man.
This stretch he's on right now looks like the guy I thought we got that played against us twice last year.
Yep.
He's a bull out there.
Yep.
Is Joshy gone?
Joshy boy, you're our boy. Thank you. Yeah, I heard him go. Take a brief time out. We'll come back. 865-200-5402. I want to remind you, we're live today here at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Listen, you come out, see us, eat some lunch, talk some sports. They've got daily specials here. They've got a daily cocktail selection. My man Austin just enjoyed one. They've got snacks and appetizers for you. Great sandwiches for lunch, like the hot honey's chicken sliders. They got the Italian sub here, which is next level. The entrees today, they got an ale pork chop, wild Alaska sockeye salmon, easy for me to say. The pizza of the month here is smoked brisket pizza, and they've got it in 3 different denominations. And then a homemade dessert today, a house-made dessert, gingerbread cheesecake. Fresh, crisp gingerbread infused with cheesecake, Bean Star. Say it, know it, like it, love it, live it. And by the way, Copper Card's available as well. A great gift for the holiday season in any denomination, and are, of course, good at any of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants. We come back on the other side. We're getting excited for Oklahoma and Alabama. We'll look at that quarterback list again. And I want to talk as well about the defense on the other side. Again, what we hear is that Colton Hood's not getting great grade, did not get what he wanted to hear from the league. Arian Carter didn't get what he wanted to hear from the league either, Bino, but he went ahead and went. Some guys do that. Hey, it's time to just try myself in professional football. I'm not saying that he'll stay or go, but they think there's a decent chance that Colton Hood stays. Now, if he comes back, you got Colton Hood, you got Ricky Gibson, and you got
Redmond.
that freshman that played a bunch this
Yep.
year. That's not the bad beginnings of a defense.
No, that's a really good start at cornerback.
You got to go you got to go get 2 safeties now, and you got to go get.
We need a masher linebacker.
Yes, and a masher line. You need.
I think
Yeah.
Perlotti's good.
Perlotti
going to be very good, but we need an experienced stud to play linebacker.
And remember, you're going to start hearing these terms, but the new defensive coordinator, who I understand has been filling up notebooks, taking observations, watching practice, watching everything, sitting in the meetings. So this guy is evaluating staff. He's evaluating players. He's evaluating everything and anything. He's not talking at all. He's not saying a word to anybody, which is kind of his nature. You like that? He's kind of I'll tell you who he's going to talk to, Bino. He's going to talk to me, because we're going to come right here and we're going to talk about some Philly stuff.
No question.
Because his father was a Philadelphia police officer, and I guarantee you his father said Philly, Philly. I guarantee you, if you live in that city and he was a cop, hey, yo, you, hey, use. We're going to come back. Freddie is going to lead things off as we take a brief time out after this.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night, Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And of course, go Vols.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
So if we welcome you back to our Christmas celebration here. If we're back on your Tony Basilio show, if Jerry Mack were here today, we'd sing Brian's Christmas Carol to him, sung like Florida. Brian, why don't you sing a little bit of that, and then we'll go to Fab Five Freddy. Why don't you serenade Jerry Mack for us in Florida's voice?
Deck the halls with Ballywalking.
No, Felice Mollywalk.
Felice Mollywalk. I couldn't think of it for a second. Felice Mollywalk. Felice Mollywalk. Florida got themselves Mollywalk.
All right, thank you. We'll go to the phones. Jerry Mack is getting... Bino, they just kicked a field goal at the end of the half.
Attempted to kick a field goal.
The kid missed the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even in the screen. It looked like me trying it.
Yeah.
At like halftime of a game. He like blew out his lat when he kicked it.
Shankopotamus.
Yeah, like Vince McMahon when he ran to the ring that one night and blew both lats out. We'll go to the phones and bring Freddie in here, who's up next with us as we serenade him with a little Felice Mollywop. Freddie, hello. Welcome in.
What you say, man?
Hey, Freddie.
Sounds like you guys celebrate New Year's Eve instead of Christmas over today.
Interesting.
Got Brian singing songs. I don't even know what language that was. Hey, you got Philadelphia and Sean in there. Brocky ain't slipped in the back door, has he?
Well, it ain't Brocky Top.
No.
So let me see here. You got the best caller in the history of call radio. You got the best dentist in East Tennessee. You got Brian, the best producer. And then we got you two guys in there. So that ain't bad, is it?
Hey, how about Bino? Bino, maybe the best brother a man could ever hope to have, right?
He ties for that with my brother Ron.
Interesting.
Hey, guys, watched the high school playoff games. Watched a little of all 9 of them. There were like 3 good games in there. But there was one stat in there that I just really loved. Page had an offensive lineman, I believe, that was starting his 60th game for Page in high school. In other words, that's 15 games. That's the maximum every year for 4 years. So. Y'all there?
Guys, we seem to have lost Tony. Yeah, I guess that's his making the state championship game every year.
Can't hear you guys.
Freddie, let me take a time out, and we're going to fix this here.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. TB back with you. Let's bring Fab 5 Freddie back in here. Fab 5, sorry about the delay there, man.
Okay, he dropped too. He couldn't
hear
me.
Man. Bino, what was Fab 5 going to get into? That's your brother there. You guys know. What else you think he was going to get into the high school thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he was going there, Tony.
Fabulous, fabulous, fredulous. Come on back to us. Let's go back to our phones and get W. Lynn in the mix with us. W. Lynn, welcome in.
How are my friends and compatriots doing today?
Hey, W. Lynn, welcome in.
Tony, who was that guy that was having an affair with a student and another woman? Is he the Ohio Bobcat coach?
Yeah, he was out catting, the Bobcat coach.
Bino, sounds like he ought to do like that guy in the Andy Griffith episode that he ran out on his wife. And his wife just said he got run over by a bus in Richmond and had a funeral for him. Had a casket and buried him and everything.
Yeah, Tom Sylvie.
I couldn't remember his name, Tom Sylvie. That's what that guy needs, I think.
Yep.
But that's unbelievable. You're right, Tony. To get out of payouts, people are going to have detectives following these guys.
And a lot of them, no offense, are going to do detective-oriented things. You know what's happening in our culture is we're worshiping these people, right? And they get a sense of entitlement and like they're bulletproof. And it's pretty simple. You're coaching high school football. Here's a good idea, or college football rather. Stay away from the college girls. How about that? Why don't we just start there? We'll just kind of build our house out from there. I mean, what in the world are these people doing, Bino?
I don't know. Well, we had a high school coach messing around with high school girls, and he disappeared up in the mountains, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, up in Virginia. Yes.
They hadn't found him yet, have they?
No, they have not found that fella. No.
I mean, I don't know what people are thinking, Tony. I'm with you on that. That just, good grief. I mean,
that's why more people need healthy hobbies like this radio show.
That's exactly right, Tony. You just set your time to listen to you.
Yep.
And if you can't hear you live, listen to the replay before going after stuff like that.
We would really help a lot of people if they just would listen to this radio show.
Guys, I'd like to move to basketball for a little bit. I rewatched the Louisville game, and we're a work in progress. That's just, people got to remember that. But I counted 10 players that made some kind of contribution in that game, and that's a big time team. 10 players did do some good things. Would y'all agree with that?
Matt Diskin the other night and Alex made a good point on our Garza Law fifth quarter Tennessee basketball overtime show, which, by the way, Alex will have you after the Gardner Webb tomato can smashing on Sunday. It's an interesting year because here we are in mid to late December.
Yeah.
And our rotation of the number of guys that's playing, Bino, is not, it's expanding.
Yeah.
Instead of going down.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bean.
I believe this is a team that they're just going to play more people than we're accustomed to seeing them play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking this week about our basketball team, and I don't think this team will ever be as consistent on both sides of the floor as the last several we've seen.
Yeah.
Because those teams were basically teams that had a veteran base.
Yep.
And they went out and got a proven scorer out of the transfer portal to supplement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those were pretty much ready-made. This is as close to kind of a start over as Barnes has had in years and years. But if you give me a start over that beats both Houston and Louisville in the pre-conference schedule, I'm taking that.
Well,
Amen.
I mean, the point we're making here is, when you start talking about seeding, that's why that game's so significant.
Yeah.
Because there are very few teams on their team sheet that are going to have wins like that at the end of the year.
That's right.
Huge
and
victory.
even the teams we lost to are not going to kill us. I mean, Syracuse, I guess, is our worst loss.
But it's a pure road game, which isn't
pure
going
road
to
game.
really hammer you. And the thing about Syracuse is, man, it's hard to fathom that they're probably going to go 5 years without making the NCAA tournament in an era where it's never been easier to make the NCAA tournament. That's hard to fathom that, guys, about Syracuse basketball.
Somebody like C would have to tell me this, but it looks to me like that we probably wound up better from a projection standpoint by beating Houston and Louisville than we would have been losing to those two teams and beating the other three that beat us.
Zero question about that, Bino. Zero question. You're exactly right.
That's true, Bino. Yeah, I think that's. Look, we're 8-3. I've always said if you can get through your 13 non-conference games 10-3, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yep.
And then you just got to do your business in your conference. And I mean, Louisville has only 2 losses, and it's the 2 SEC teams, us and Arkansas.
Yep.
So that's a great win, and I just like the fact I was just looking at all the different players playing, and they all did something positive. It wasn't like somebody out there that couldn't line up.
Even Spurgeon Chapel, Bino.
Yeah,
made a few shots.
I thought that was Berg's best game. Had a couple of assists, nice assists, made a couple of shots. I thought that was easily his best game.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I
Is
think
he the guy you were talking about, Bino, like a church leaguer?
Oh yeah, and Tony's got. There ain't no way he could play for Spurgeon Chapel. He'd have to play for somebody else.
Why, Bean?
He couldn't have made Spurgeon Chapel's team. They were. I mean.
They had the ringers. They had the ringers in the church league.
Well, let's see. Otis Howard got cut as a sophomore and came down there to play with us in the church league. And he had against us, he had like 60 points and 25 rebounds for Spurgeon Chapel. I played golf with his former coach, Ken Gross. And I told Ken, you'd have done us a big favor if you'd have kept him on the team as a sophomore so he didn't come down there and pummel us church leaguers. He was OVC Player of the Year twice at Austin Peay. I mean, he was a player.
And he's over there at Spurgeon Chapel.
Yeah, sophomore year he's playing for Spurgeon Chapel.
Nice.
And another thing, yes, we did start that game out against Louisville shooting bad from the free throw line, but we finished the game 14 of 17 from the line.
Lynn,
there was a little positive in the free throw shooting.
No, very
contrary
positive.
to what one guy wants to harp on.
Well, Negative is a negative ninny. He is a nattering nabob of negativity. And thank you, W. Lynn. Have a good one. Let's get Fat Five Freddy back in the mix and in the hunt with us. Fabulous, fabulous, fredulous. Hey, something about Bino today. He's like leaning over here. He keeps knocking the equipment off, Freddie.
Well, I don't know, Tony. I believe me and you are a lot alike. Every time I call your show, I knock you off the air. And every time you move to a new radio station, you knock them off the air. So me and you got something in common here. But let's agree
That's
on
the
one
greatest
thing.
thing I've ever heard. I love
They're all
him.
Bino's fault. Every bit
That's
of
the
it.
greatest thing. Yeah, Bino's the core of all this. Yep.
Where I was heading, I was starting out with high school football and just moving into a little college. Something that Bino said through the years about always wanting the Vols to have a good in-state rival, where it could be exciting that time of the year, and then Vandy beat us, and he was rethinking his thoughts. I got the remedy for that. You kick Vandy out, and you bring Sewanee back. Then you'd still have two Tennessee teams in the conference. By the way, Tennessee's the only state to ever have three teams in there. And let's just play Sewanee instead of Vandy every year. Sewanee was in the SEC 8 years. They never won a game. They got shut out 26 times out of 37 games, and they got outscored 1,163 to 84. We need them back and Vandy out.
University of South, baby.
Bino, all those years, you wanted that rival, Bino.
Yeah.
And you wanted that game.
What a moron I was.
And we lined up in that game, and I mean, they put it on us.
Now I want it to go back where they can't play dead.
They beat us. They beat us like they were mad at us.
Oh, it was a thrashing.
Another thing I want to take back a little bit.
Yep.
I called, I think, a year or so ago after the Vols won the Natty and said that I wanted the Vols to win one more Natty with Tony there, and then for him to leave and go to the Yankees. And the consensus was he'll never leave to go to Major League. But, boy, if he was going to do that, Tony's wonderful with the media. He's got swag. He's got personality. He's Italian. You tell me he wasn't been a better fit with them Yankees than he's going to be out there in the Giants.
Freddie, why in the world would anybody wish New York on anybody they love or appreciate? Why would you guys want to do that to Tony Vitello?
I can tell you that because the choices there are San Francisco. That's why. Hey, guys, I just want to tell you Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And wish y'all happiness. And this whole world's got a lot of bad stuff going on. It sure feels good to be able to touch back home with the home folks. Love you guys. Merry Christmas.
Love you. Thanks, Fred. And, the thing about Tony is I wouldn't bet against him.
No.
I wouldn't bet on him, but I wouldn't bet against him.
I mean,
that's a tough.
Yeah.
To win the credibility.
Yeah.
With those major league players, it's hard enough for the guys that have been in it for forever.
Just gaining acceptance there is going to be his hugest. I mean, that's the biggest hurdle that he's got.
Yep.
Is gaining acceptance there.
Not to mention,
it's going to be difficult even for a guy like him.
Not to mention his game management, because that guy was awful at managing a baseball game. No offense.
If he were to come to the Yankees, I really would prefer him be the general manager rather than.
Now he knows players
rather than the manager.
Yes, because a general manager and I think one of the things that intrigued him about this Giant deal is that the general manager is not going to be a conventional general manager. He's actually going to give him some latitude, or so he says.
Yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, talk is cheap. If I were a betting man, I would bet Tony's miserable doing that. He's back in college ball within 3 years. Is that a fair? And by the way, I'm just kidding about his managerial. I say that because he and I jousted down through the years, and I really urinated him off, and this, that, and the other. The great William Patterson's coming up next on many of these same outlets. I want to shout my friends out here and all the people that have come out and seen us and hung out with us today. We're going to stay and do a little overtime with you, and then call it a day with the winners and losers presented by our friends at Dos Equis /VIP Play on the way next. But we'll get a few more phone calls in if you want to get in at 865-200-5402. Special shout-out to our friends at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Absolutely an outstanding place. And all the Copper Cellar family of restaurants. Of course, our Calhoun's down there on Saturdays, or Fridays rather, just an incredible time all year long, all the thousands and thousands of you that we saw. Hope you have a great, great holiday weekend. We love you. Talk to you Monday, God willing, and peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So here we are in our overdrive, overtime, an unsponsored segment, doing a labor of love, as it were. The great Brian Hartman at Studio Control, and we make it go with you. Bino, I need you to remind me of something. I'm putting you on paper here.
All right.
When we expire here, we need to ask Angel if I could get a piece of that cheesecake for the road. Lovely Miss Laura said that gingerbread cheesecake. She said, Tony, that's crazy. How hungry you made me describing that. It is fresh. It is crisp gingerbread infused, Bino, with cheesecake. First of all, are you a gingerbread guy? Do you like gingerbread cookies?
I am not, Tony.
Do you like ginger snaps?
I am not a ginger. I like ginger salad dressing.
Have you ever taken ginger snaps and dipped them in milk?
I have not.
Oh, it's delicious.
That's the way to go?
Oh, you'll come back again and again. Have you ever taken Nilla wafers and dipped them in?
Yes.
Have you ever taken Italian pizzelles and put a little ice cream between them and made yourself an ice cream sandwich?
Never had an Italian pizzelle.
You know what, Bino?
Wait a second. Yes.
Yes, you did have
I did. You brought me some, and they were very good, but I've never had an ice cream sandwich made out of it.
How about you? You ever taken those ginger snap cookies and soaked them right in milk? Oh. Do you like Oreos in milk? Oreos in milk? Oreos in milk?
Yes.
Oh, the gingerbread. You ever had the ginger snap cookies, put them in milk? Black people don't like them? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. What are we doing here? He goes to me on that. Your goes to me. I've got a small population here. I mean, the black people in here are looking at me like, what are we doing? I mean, what, you tell me, Bino. The Italians eat the pizzelles, So what do you, Martin Luther King, what are you putting in milk? What do you dip in milk? Oreo? Chocolate chip cookie. I forgot about that. So my brother Steve, Bino, we're going to talk about the Tall House cookies that Laura made for my special needs brother Steve. He calls last night. Where's my cookies? We're like, Steve, we didn't FedEx them. We sent them second day mail. They're going to be there Friday or Saturday. He goes, no. I said, Steve, your cookies are going to be here on Friday or Saturday. He goes, Friday? I said, Steve, I can't.
Oh, good.
He's highly urinated off with Laura at this point. Highly urinated off.
John, Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas to you, Sink. Looking good, Cinco.
Thanks for coming. Yes, you are. Doing good.
Cinco, I love your hair, man. I want to get together and have a hair harvest with you, Cinco.
Love anybody's hair.
Yeah, he does got you could look like Gavin Newsom, Cinco. He just flipped me.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He was celebrating.
Yeah, let's go, Cinco.
He didn't give him backhanded signals.
Hey, Cinco's looking pretty good, man. How old's Cinco?
I don't know. He's
39 and holding.
He's closer to your age than mine.
He looks like Mendoza's mom. That guy's looking good. Has he had some work done, Bino?
I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
Cinco looking good. His hair, man, he was unbelievable, Andy. All right, so where are we here? We got to go back to the phones. We're talking about these quarterbacks. This thing with Tennessee is getting ready to get really interesting because once they get past this bowl game, I believe you're going to see some defensive players. It's going to be shared with them that their services are no longer going to be. I think that's how this is going to work. And then we're going to watch a portal. As for right now, Tennessee and Illinois have a bowl game. It's actually worth watching. Did Kennesaw just score?
Touchdown.
40-0. Oh, they scored or no? Pick six the other team? Oh, my gosh. It's 40-0. I looked up and saw somebody scoring.
Well,
in the
Kennesaw
game.
did throw a touchdown pass anyway. Just happened to go the wrong way. Threw it to the wrong team.
Is that the football equivalent of coaling your stocking, Bino, and you're down 14-0 a couple days before Christmas? 40-0.
They didn't have a stocking.
You talk about just getting hammered on a Friday morning. Goal. What a way to start the day. Yeah. Imagine, I guess if you're telling them it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better from here. All right, before we go back to the phones, I want to remind you, because I'm looking at Bino. Bino, you're up over there on VIP Play. You go, Bino. You go, Beanstar. You go, Beanstar. You go, Beanstar. My friends at VIP Play want to remind you that they've got contests they're running right now. You don't even have to be a VIP Play player. They have a VIP Play bracket challenge going on over at VIP Play. And remember, with the playoffs, live always, 200 leagues, Mariano, one of the sages of the program. Mariano wants to see our defense get rebuilt, Beanstar. Shout out to my friends at VIP Play. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this out right now, and you can go ahead and jump on it. Really fun stuff. Fun and games. Fun stuff for CFP. Filling out a bracket, Bino. Who wins the tournament? I meant to ask you this earlier. I meant to ask you and Hughie that earlier. Who do you have at the end of this tournament, Bino, winning it? You said earlier, you had alluded to the fact that you don't think Ohio State's going to repeat. So somebody else has to win it if you don't believe in Ohio State. Who do you got, Bino?
Tony, I think either Georgia or Texas Tech's going to win it.
I think you're right. I have a weird feeling that Georgia's going to win the thing. I think you're right. And by the way, if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in our great state of Tennessee to place a bet. I think Beanstar's got a pretty good point on Georgia. That defense came together at the end of the year. Our league wasn't good enough to knock them out, which is another thing that kind of allowed them to come together. We had a chance to knock them out. Matt said, so let me get this right, Tony. The team you had going 7-5 by the time you picked against them every week, do you think is going to win it? But two things can be true, right? They should have lost a bunch of games, but they're extremely talented, and they're going to have the opportunity now to compete and to win with their defense. And I think they have enough team to do it.
I do too.
Why Texas?
I never thought that I would. I never thought I would even assume that they could win it
this year.
But
after what we saw in September, yeah.
But the team I've seen late that can defend.
Yep.
Looks like as complete a team is out there.
You know, if we were a ready to win football program, Bino, we would have beaten them in September, but we weren't ready to win. That's just what happens in the sport.
Yeah.
If we'd have been ready to win, we would have taken that game, and they would have been in a world of hurt with the rest of that schedule left.
MLK and the Buckeye Nation, they beg to differ, and they may still have the very best team there. For some reason, I just don't see this day and time teams going back-to-back. Maybe they will.
I'm going to get you a big old box of ginger snaps next time I see you, brah. You got me dude wipes? I got a gift coming your way. Let's go back to our phones as we're on our Overdrive Overtime, sponsored by no one. Hello, Richard. Welcome in.
Well, hello and Merry Christmas, you guys.
Same to you, my brother.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, all right. Been a few weeks. Lots happened up at Rocky Top since we've talked, but I've had wonderful opportunities to listen. Boy, I tell you, my job's just been crazy busy trying to wind things up for the year, so I hadn't had as much time just to sit back and call. But good to talk to y'all. I'm glad everybody is doing well and heading into this holiday season. And so, Tony, first of all, I didn't get to say anything about the Jim Knowles hire. Love it. I think the guy's the ultimate professional when it comes to running a defense and understanding defense. Doesn't mean he's perfect, because none of them are, and all of them make mistakes during the season. But when the guy truly does understand personnel and understands how to place his personnel in the best position of each game to be successful, and for that reason, I really like the hire. And I don't think we could have done any better than what we got in him, and what he's going to have the opportunity through the portal and everything else to have his footprint on it. I look forward to seeing our defense improve greatly next year in all these games. That's the first thing.
All right. And what's your second point?
Right.
Go for it, Richard.
All right,
man.
Second, quarterback or portal. All right, we know we understand everything in the portal, what we need on the defense. No hashing that out. We understand the weakness that we have in various spots and what we got to do to get better. Offensively, the talk has been, and I've been listening to you, what does Tennessee do? Do they just go get another quarterback that may be just a little bit better than Joey was this year, a little more athletic and run, won't cost as much money as some of these higher-end guys will cost? Or do you, again, is Tennessee just going all out, period, and they're going to break the bank and do everything offense and defense? I don't know what kind of money they're planning on spending or what they're going to do. But if they do have a budget, I would say, Tony, that I would be, if this could happen, I would be happy with one of these good quarterbacks without busting the budget. I think Josh has proven what he can do, and he's got that person would have a lot of talent around him. And I would like to see Tennessee put a little bit more money and go after Jaden Ball from Florida, because I think you put that running back in his system, Tony, with our guy from Carnes, Bishop, coming back, those duo with our Tony, I'm telling you, we don't need a star quarterback. Our line's back. I think it would be pick your poison against us next year. What do you think on that one?
Beanstar, what do you make of, because what Richard's talking about is not what it looks like they're doing when you see the names associated with them. It looks like they're going big budget on this quarterback, which is kind of an interesting thing, right? Because Aguilar did show that you don't need that world beater to be really productive in this deal. And I'm not saying Aguilar is not a nice player. He's a nice player, but he's not. Like, if he was on the open market last year, he ended up at UCLA. He was and he was going to make $1 million. So to Richard's point, and he's got a great one, if you take a little bit of that money and you say, hey, we want to update our running back or upgrade our running back, or we want to put some of that money toward our defense. There's way more than one way to skin a cat here. Does he have a good point? And the ball guy is a great example of a playmaker that could really take the pressure off that quarterback back there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I have no idea what the right answer is.
Yeah.
I think that against that schedule next year, we're going to have higher level quarterback play than what a redshirt freshman or a true freshman would be able to provide you.
No doubt.
And with the uncertain, if you knew that Aguilar was coming back,
right,
I would agree with Richard 1,000%. But not knowing what his situation is, I think you have to upgrade the quarterback position in order to compete with that schedule next year. And we've proven year in, year out that we do not have to have a stud running back to have a quality running game in Josh Heupel's offense.
But his point is he wants to see what I want to see, which is what would it look like if you really put a guy back there that could really do it, man.
But if it's a Jordan Ball, you're going to have to pay a whole bunch of money for him, too.
That's his
because
point.
he's talking about going to Ohio State.
Yeah.
If you're telling me, do I need to – if I have to make a decision on a big money piece, it's going to be the quarterback, not the running back.
How about it, Richard?
Well, and I understand it. I mean, it's a tough call because I think we need a dynamic runner in some form or fashion, whether it's with the quarterback or with the tailback. The Ball kid at Florida is going to be a first-round pick next year. He's going to be the first running back on the board next year. He is that incredibly talented. He's outstanding out of the backfield as well. And I just think he's a home run hit. And if he stayed healthy, I think the kid would have an opportunity with our downfield passing game to put up Heisman-type numbers in our offense. That's me. That's where I'm at. If I thought I had a good quarterback coming in, it doesn't have to be great, but a good one who can, again, be serviceable just like Joey was this year. But again, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun off season to see what happens on Rocky Top and see what players we get and how the roster completely flips and changes. Because it's just going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of Christmas presents under the tree, right, Tony?
Hey, and I enjoy it. And the thing I enjoy about this stuff, guys, I just wish they were a little more transparent with the money so we could really understand like what your expenditures were. But as that is, we try to dig in there as much as we can and provide whatever sorts of context to some of these acquisitions. It's made the sport really, 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 unfortunately, I hate to say this as somebody that hates this player movement. The other night, when the quarterback got knocked out of the game from Old Dominion, it was Deshaun Rucker that knocked him out. And you look around college football and you see all these former Vols that are all over and every school is exactly the same way. Because as fast, Richard, as they're coming in, they're leaking out the back door. We just don't realize it. And now you have these teams, 8 of these teams, or 7 or 8, have transfer portal quarterbacks that are in the playoffs, Richard. And as long as that's a thing, and as long as they're getting returns like that, quick returns, everybody's going to live in the portal now. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And what's now going to come forward truly is going to be 2 things going forward in every season: health, which team can manage their season, especially in the SEC. Which teams in the SEC are going to be able to manage their health on the roster? Injuries could just ruin your year, especially in the physical grind we have. And then also coaching. Coaching will make a difference in this because that's going to put a premium on those 2 things, Tony, is health and coaching because, like you said, everybody is going to have veteran players on the roster because of the portal.
Yep. Richard, you're the man.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Richard.
Bino, my whole big issue with all this stuff is I want to say, man, they've ruined college football. I'm not so sure they haven't made it better. And I hate saying that. You know what I mean?
They've certainly made it more compelling, especially in the off season.
Yes. Like the next 3 weeks are what like Bino used to call when we would get together for a draft and he would say, hey, this is like big boy Christmas time. Because you're just, the anticipation of, hey, this guy or that guy or, you know. And then I already hear there's some guys on Tennessee's roster that want more money, like this Matthews guy. He wants more money. What are you going to do? You going to pay him? You tell me. You going to pay him frontline receiver money? Because I hear he wants like north of $2 million. You paying him that, Bino?
I would not.
I agree with that.
I would not. I think Rodarius Jackson and
I agree with that.
And the Smith kid
I
are
agree
ready
with
to
that.
step in and be as good as Mike Matthews was this year.
Yeah, and if they don't, if they don't ante up, he's going to jump. I look at him as a safety playing wide receiver, which is what Alabama and Georgia both thought of him.
I would probably pay Staley.
Oh, I totally would pay him.
But not
totally
Matthews.
would
Not
pay
Matthews.
him. Totally would pay him. But that's part and parcel of this era.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of, what we're seeing now and how interesting it's going to be to watch the next month. And we'll track it every step of the way with you, because no matter where you are, we're with you every step of the way. John Waite.
The thing that I'm encouraged about right now is I think I believe I see signs of the sense of urgency that I thought that needed for this staff to need to have going forward.
Could not agree with that more.
I wasn't sure they were going to change defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure they would go big in the portal for certain positions.
Yes.
And maybe it's somewhat a blessing in disguise that Vandy came in here and beat our eyes shut, because I'm not sure we would have gone with eyes wide open from that point had they not.
No. I think that the Vanderbilt experience, if you want to call it that, forced a change. Yeah, because now I have the credibility to walk into your office and say, "Hey, what you gonna do at defensive coordinator?" Because that guy there, and I don't know what in the world Auburn was doing, looking at his safeties on this team in the last 3 or 4 years, and say, "We're going to make you our safeties coach."
Yeah. And unless they're just thinking that he will be a much better single position coach than he could be a combined defensive coordinator coaching a position.
Let me help you with that. I'll take the under.
Okay. I would too.
Okay. Love you, Bino. Appreciate you. Any final thoughts for us on the way out? Richard, a wonderful phone call. Brian, thank you. Our winners and losers presented by our friends at Dos Equis, and VIP play is on the way next. And Vandy Joe's over here doing black and gold for some reason. Is that the two colors? What do they mean, Bino? Black and gold. Is he a Boston Bruin fan, or what are we doing here?
Get
used to it.
I don't think I've got enough years left. Get used to it.
Till we meet again.
Hey, they got a good basketball team too. Now Memphis played them off their feet, but they're pretty good. So.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. We'll walk the dog on them twice. Till we meet again, because my boy Barnes ain't gonna let me down. That's my boy right there. Everybody
have a great weekend.
Yeah, we love you. We appreciate you. Enjoy the college football. Enjoy your time with your families, and we'll be on Sunday after the game with Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime, and then we'll be back with you on Monday. And a lot's going to happen between now and then. And you hope what happens tonight. You hope, not what's going to happen, but between the time that we next talk, you hope whom are still alive, Bino. Go.
I hope Oklahoma beats Alabama for the third straight time.
That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny.
That DeBoer leaves and goes to Michigan.
And let's just destabilize this thing. Yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
I want to watch. I mean, can I say this? I want to watch those necks get all like in a frenzy. I think it'd be funny. I mean, can you say that or no?
When has that ended?
It'd be so funny to see those necks all stirred up. What about in the second game? You hope?
I hope that For some reason, I want Miami to beat Texas A&M.
Me
I don't
too.
know why.
Because it's fun. The A&M people are kind of never was deal. We don't want them winning. It's like cheering for the Chicago Cubs to win the World Series. I mean, my God, it's unnatural. No offense to the Cubs fans out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fire back at Polly Joe.
Yeah,
2
Polly
hours
Joe.
later.
You clown. Till we meet again. And by the way, Polly Joe, I object to your next phone call. We love you. Thanks. GBO. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chillins of all ages, it must be that time. We started out the year with like 9 in here. We were jammed up into our room here on Winners and Losers, presented by our friends at Dos Equis and VIP Play. And shout out to both of them for being wonderful sponsors right along the way. Dos Equis, always a great choice at the holiday season. And VIP Play, ladies and germs, they've got a special game coming up right around this playoff. You're going to want to get involved there. But in the meantime, we've got 2 participants on the program here, experts both, moving right to left across your device. You can see them. You see the plate there in the background. Will Heflin, how we hanging, buddy? Long time no see.
I know it, Tone. I'm hanging well. Hope you're hanging well.
You look good, man.
Excited.
I'd like to get with you and Lee, and have like a hair harvest with both of you. Both of you guys got great hair.
You know, I'm glad you brought it up because
yeah,
for those of you watching, I'm in the awkward stages of kind of growing it out.
Yeah.
And just seeing what happens. I've never had it this long in my life. Maybe
you
when I was
are
in
a sexy man right now.
But
Sexy man.
I've grown it out. I'm going to see if I
Yeah.
can get any waves. You know, my hair's pretty straight. But
Yeah.
if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So I may chop it off next time you see me, but we'll see.
You look
I'm
like
just giving it a
Vitello
shot.
you look like Vitello when he was first introduced at Tennessee when he had the Frank Sinatra haircut.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Lee, how we doing, brother? My man Nashville Lee, back for more.
Hey, what's up, Tone? I'm doing good, man. I still got the head of hair. Shouldn't be a problem for the rest of my life. So yeah,
You got a damn
doing good,
mane,
man.
dude. That must run in your family because you got you a mane on you, brother.
The hair genes are good. The hair genes are good in the T. Lee family. You know, it's pretty gray up there, but I'm not going to complain.
Hey, you could always look like an aging Muppet like me. My son was cracking on me the other night, and I said, "Where do you think you're going?" Get you some of that, big boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are presented by our friends at Dos Equis Lager Especial, a golden Pilsner-style beer made from the choice of hops, balanced composition, smooth, clean finish. Party guest always invited, never overstays his welcome. Folks are asking what we're going to do around the holiday. Okay, here's the deal. Christmas holiday coming up. We are going to, this show is going to cover now through Christmas Day is what we're going to do. So anything you guys want to play now through Christmas Day, NFL, college, if you want to throw me something from college hoops. And then after the first, or we're going to do Christmas week, we're going to do one on Friday. We're going to do one live. And then following that, we'll do one right around the first of the year and get you ready for the rest of the stuff that's to come. Right into the NFL playoffs. I want to keep doing this. If you guys are game for it, because things are really starting to heat up with the NFL. But, guys, the bowl matchups this year, it's crazy. I don't know from a gambling perspective how much you guys like. I don't know how you can really try to get edges when we don't know who's interested and who's not, other than to guess who's interested or who's not. But I will say this, as we lay this down, the day after Old Dominion and South Florida played, those two teams knocked the hell out of each other. I mean, I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's about. But it seems like the kids that play at this time of the year are the kids that want to be out there. But there are some stinker games in these bowls. I mean, Boise State didn't show up at all against Washington. And some teams, guys, look interested and some don't. So I'm going to ask you, what is y'all's interest in the bowls?
For me, they've made them unimportant to the players, and so I'm kind of in the same boat. But it is interesting, like from a betting perspective, you've got to be early. Like as soon as those matchups come out, those lines are going to move fast, right? And so you may take one and you think you know who's in, and then it doesn't end up happening that way. But I mean, I think the one I had my eye on was actually Navy was announced. They were playing with Cincinnati. They were playing Cincinnati in the bowl game before the Army-Navy game. And they opened as like a 2.5 point dog. And then before the Army game even started, they had already moved to like -3, -4, because we knew Sorsby was going to the portal, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I was doing something, completely missed it. I was like, well, you can't bet a game after it moves like 6 points. And so you kind of have those situations. But, you know, if you like one, I'll say this from a betting perspective, it's almost as if the smaller teams, like I watched Delaware and Lafayette last night. It looked like the damn Super Bowl with those guys.
Yeah.
And Delaware won the bowl game first year in FBS, and they were over the moon, finished 7-6. Those are the type of games you know they're going to play, right? If their quarterback's not in the portal or best player's not in the portal, you know those teams are going to at least show up. Doesn't mean they're going to play well, but they'll be there, right? And so that's kind of how I look at it. But for the most part, it's kind of playoffs, and other than that, I'm not really interested.
Hey, Leeds, do you have a system in terms of, because this is all brand new. 2 or 3 years ago, we started having opt-outs, right? Now we're having teams opt out. We have like 9 teams that opted out this year. Do you have any system at all? Are you an early play guy? Are you a wait till the day of the game, live bet guy when it comes to the bowl action? How do you handle it?
Yeah, so I mean it's a little bit of both, but for the most part, yeah, I definitely want to get in early. Like I played a bunch of games on the day that the bowl games were announced to try to get ahead of moves, and sometimes you kind of have to guess, and you can be wrong. Like I wasn't right on every one that I played. I've gotten really good numbers on a lot of bowl games so far. I was wrong on a couple. I've had a couple move against me, but that's okay. You know, I've had a lot of people ask me like, how can you bet on these bowl games? It's just too much. People ought to know. And what I tell people is, like any other market, like with uncertainty, like that brings like potential. Like you want that uncertainty. Like it, for me, it's wonderful. Like this is such a huge time of the year for me. These bowl games are huge for me. Like I historically do really well betting them. Just because all the information is out there. Like you can find out who's going to opt out and who's playing, who's not. You'll have situations where guys opt out right before the game starts, and that kind of sucks. But, you know, it is a little bit of a risk, but motivation, you talked about it, is everything. Like in these bowl games, that's 95% of this, and you can't really put a number on that. So I think that's where you can find your edge. Like I said, that they're out there. You just have to put a little bit of time into it. But for me, this is historically like the most profitable time of the year is during bowl season.
So with that in mind, guys, let's go ahead and if Will, if you want to throw out the first pick, of course, as we do this, it's the day of the first playoff game. Obviously, there are 3 playoff matchups tomorrow. Oklahoma, Alabama tonight, Miami, A&M tomorrow down there, and then the 2 games involving, unfortunately, the group of 5 teams, because we have to pretend they're playing the same game, but still obviously bettable, plus all the bowl action, plus the NFL card that includes a couple of Saturday games, and then a pretty robust slate on Sunday, and then any of the other sundry bowl games as we go. Will Heflin, take the mound, my friend, and throw out the first pitch, my brother.
You said through Christmas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll just start in the first playoff game, which is tonight or tomorrow night, depending on when you're listening to this. It's Friday the 19th.
Friday night. Yep.
Alabama going to Oklahoma as 1.5-point underdogs. They lost to Oklahoma in their home stadium. But I think Bama bounces back and gets Oklahoma in this first round of the playoffs. Kind of a really ugly game feel to it. It was kind of ugly in the first game. Bama should have won it. Mm-hmm. I don't know that going to Norman changes it a ton for me. Mm-hmm. I know they lost there last year. It's kind of one of those things where like every basic logic thinking would be like, oh, Oklahoma will win. But just for whatever reason, I think it's a spot where DeBoer is able to get it done. And ultimately, in the playoffs, who's got the better quarterback play? Ty Simpson's better. I see John Mateer having a very untimely turnover in this one. I think that's the difference.
You know, Bama is +1 in the game. I keep going back and forth on it. It's an intriguing football game. Lee, the thing I keep come away with is, how can I pick a team in the playoffs when Oklahoma's got a better defense and Alabama can't run the football? I don't think it's fluky that Alabama's been beaten twice by these guys. They can't run the football.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's fluky or if it's not fluky, but if you go back to that first matchup, Bama put up over 400 yards on them.
Yes.
Oklahoma averaged about 4 yards a carry. It's basically what they've done for 2 years. And I gave out Oklahoma in that first matchup. It was my biggest play of that week. But to be honest, I'm sorry, they were fortunate to win. It was the 3 turnovers was the difference in the game. They forced 3 turnovers. They get a pick 6, and they still only won the game by 2 points. I'm glad Will's on Bama too. That I'm on Bama here. I feel like everybody I've listened to is on Oklahoma in this game, and I just can't get there. Not at this price. There's a difference when we gave out Oklahoma +7, and now Oklahoma's favored in this game. Now, I can't get there. To me, what's Oklahoma's path to winning? It's yes, the defense is great, but you can move the ball on them. Bama put up 400 on them. Ole Miss had no issue slicing through that defense. Tennessee put up over 400 on them. This Oklahoma team could have easily lost to Missouri at the end of the year. Could have lost to LSU at the end of the year. Could have lost to Auburn earlier in the year. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think there's too much of an overreaction given what people saw with Bama against Georgia in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. I know the offense doesn't look great for Bama. I know they can't get a run game going. They are getting Jam Miller back. They're getting Cuevas, their tight end, back. They are getting a couple other guys back too. So I think this was a nice time for Bama to reset, get refocused. And if you're DeBoer, the matchups, it favored you in the first game. You just got to shore up protections. Don't turn the ball over. And I think you've got a path to be able to put more points on the board than that Oklahoma offense does. So I like Bama here.
The winner obviously gets Indiana, sets up an incredible Rose Bowl. If Alabama and Indiana face each other in the Rose Bowl, all that history and none of that history, that'll be one of the more interesting modern era matchups that we've seen. But you two guys agree on that one. All right, Lee, make some sweet music in the Music City, Nashville. Lee, give me your first pick from the colleges.
Yeah, let's go to the A&M Miami game.
Yeah.
So right now, A&M is favored by most places. It's -3.5. There's some books that have -3 at -115. I'm going to hold out and see if I can get a clean -3, -110 with A&M here. I think that's a good price for A&M playing at home. This should be a really good game. The difference for me is coaching, home field advantage, and some people have ragged on A&M's schedule. I know they didn't play the better teams in the SEC, but this Miami team, I mean, yeah, they beat up on these bottom feeder teams in the ACC. To me, it's just not that impressive. It's a really good matchup in the trenches with Ruben Bain and Messador for Miami are game wreckers, but they're going up against, in my opinion, the best offensive line in college football with A&M. I think Marcel Reed's legs are going to play a huge factor in this. Like I said, Miami did catch a break with this game not being at night. But I still think that's going to be a crazy home field advantage for A&M. This is just a massive deal for them. Finally made the play. They made the playoffs. I think getting 3. I think with A&M is a really good buy here. What I just think is the better team. I don't trust Carson Beck. I think they're gonna stop them from running the ball in early downs and force back into 3rd and longs. And I think that equals disaster for Carson Beck on the road. So yeah, I like A&M here. I like them at -3. So.
It's interesting. Both of these teams have a win against Miami. Both of these teams were buoyed by that win over Notre Dame, rather. Both these teams beat Notre Dame. That's what I was trying to say. And that's the reason Notre Dame's not here right now. So in a lot of ways, this is the Marcus Freeman appreciation game here. Will Heffen, you have a thought on this one?
Yeah, I lean with Lee there. I think it could be lower scoring than that 48.5 line would suggest because of what he said. Both defenses are probably going to be able to stop the run. Neither team played on championship weekend, so they are well rested. They've had plenty of time to prepare. That can definitely factor into, the first few drives, having a really good script, something like that. But when the Butterflies, get settled in and these teams get settled in, you never know. The defense may win early and it's just a grind them out game from start to finish. But it will be a little hectic because if both teams are having to play the drop back game, I don't think either one of them wants to be there because Beck has shown if you pressure him, he'll give the ball away. Reed has really struggled down the stretch against some good defensive fronts. So it'd be really interesting. I think both teams are really good on the outside. But like Lee said, the home crowd's going to be a huge factor. I'm trying to think if Miami's played in anything close to that this year. I know Beck has, but that A&M program and whole town is riled up to host a playoff game, and I think that can play a small factor when you're talking about, okay, is it a 2-point win or am I willing to lay the full 3? So I would definitely lean Texas A&M. Haven't made a play in the game.
And how do they handle it, right? How does A&M handle it? How do both teams handle the layoff, which is an interesting thing that's built into the college playoff? This delay that you have, you have to get reacclimated and back to it. And then coaching, Lee, you mentioned this before, but I'm thinking about the year that Carson Beck's had, and I know he's coming off that injury that he had at the end of last year, and he wasn't exactly great last year. But there's something flammable about the combination of him and Shannon Dawson and that offense that just, I don't know, they're going to put him in spots Saturday that probably are not going to be good. And then the head coach over the whole thing at Miami is just a train wreck waiting to happen.
Yeah, you look at the 2 road games at SMU and at Louisville, the games that Miami lost. Mm-hmm. Beck wasn't good in those games. I only had 5 interceptions in those games, I think.
Yeah.
And I just look. A&M's Elko wants to play man defense. He wants to play that's his bread and butter, and he can do that against Miami because he doesn't have to fear Carson Beck's legs. He doesn't have to keep eyes on the quarterback. I think that's huge in this matchup. Whereas Miami has to pay attention to Marcel Reed's legs in this game. I just think there's a lot of schematic advantages here. I think A&M coming off of a loss, getting a chance to reset and refocus, coming off of a loss kind of drives you a little bit, forces you to work on some things. Whereas if they had run the season, gone undefeated, it's a little bit different story. Maybe you're feeling too good about yourself. I think this sets up really well for A&M being on their home field with, in my opinion, a massive coaching advantage with Elko against Cristobal.
Tony, I will never forget. Yeah. I will never forget Mario Cristobal not kneeling against Georgia Tech when they didn't have to run a play.
A horrible coach.
They ran the ball, fumbled
he's a horrible coach.
Georgia Tech, hits on the. I guess it was a Hail Mary, not the last play, but They had like 2 plays left, and they took the shot and scored. And, it should have been a kneel it out, game's over, but they didn't. And I will never forget. I mean, Mario Cristobal, that puts it over the edge for me. Like if we're in a tie game late, who do you feel more comfortable with? It's got to be Elko by a mile in this matchup. And so that's probably the thing that sets me over the edge. Like, do we trust Mario Cristobal at all in a game of this magnitude?
No, I don't.
And like Lee said, they lost their only 2 real road games. I'm trying to think if they went and won one on the road that was halfway decent.
I mean, they won at Pitt like at the end of the year. I mean, and they played well that game. I don't want to take anything away from them, but I'm sorry, Pitt's not A&M.
Well, Lee, here's the thing about Miami. Here's the thing about Miami and what A&M's up against, okay? Miami's got one of the highest payrolls in the deal. People that follow it kind of know that. They've spent like drunken sailors. They literally had to get help in their league. They needed a screwy, weird ending or a screwy game in their playoff and a couple other things to happen for them to even be in the playoffs with the high payroll and the easy league they're in. That's how poorly coached they are. And you've got to give them credit for how poorly coached they are. Either one of you guys have anything else in the 2 games, the David versus Goliath matchups? Do you think either one of these 2 teams can hang around with the other? It seems to me that if one's going to, James Madison is going to hang around with Oregon before Tulane does with Ole Miss, because let's put it this way, guys, that Tulane bunch is awful. And James Madison's at least okay, but I think they're going to get overwhelmed. I think both those teams are going to get overwhelmed in the playoff tomorrow. What do you guys think?
I don't know if they do. I hope they both do so that we can move away from this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's really cool that they earned the opportunity to do this. But, with 12 teams, you got teams like Notre Dame, Texas, and Vanderbilt sitting at home, and
real
both
teams.
Of these teams are in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
real teams. Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from them.
No.
But for the sake of the game, I hope they get their doors beat in. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Just looking at it from a handicapping perspective.
Yeah.
I actually think if the Oregon's rested and they have a pretty good run game, if James Madison, gets overwhelmed early, Oregon might run for 300 yards, not really show anything, but they could probably get to that number. I actually think Tulane they're bad. I'm not saying, and they got the doors beat off of them against Ole Miss, but all the drama at Ole Miss, Lane's gone, maybe Retzlaff makes a couple plays with his legs early. Maybe at halftime they're within the number. I don't know, but I haven't dug into them too terribly much. Go ahead, Lee.
Hey, Lee, James Madison's okay, right? I mean, they're of the 2 teams, they're the better G5 team here, right?
Yeah, their defense is good. James Madison's defense is really good. I'll definitely give them that for sure. They got some athletes and they can really good schemes, and they can play defense. I don't think it's enough to slow down Oregon, though. Offensively, I kind of think I don't like James Madison at all. I don't know how they score against Oregon. I just don't know how they score. Barnett's, I don't think he can do much at quarterback. Knight's a decent running back, and that's pretty much it. And Oregon's going to shut both of them down. They're not going to let those guys run. And then what does James Madison do when they get back, fall behind, they got to pass? I don't know how they score at all, to be honest. Yeah. It's just a matter of, does Lanning want to run it up? Does he want to just get on to the next game? They've got a lot of injuries they're coming into the playoffs with, and they're trying to get it healed up. So is he motivated to run it up? They got humiliated in the playoffs last year. Does he want to wipe that taste out of his mouth in the first round this year? I don't know. I mean, I laid it with Oregon. It's pretty self-explanatory. As far as Tulane goes, this is the worst defense in the playoffs by far. They're like a bottom 100 defense. They've been awful all year long. They've given up over 6 yards per play in 6 different games. Against Ole Miss, they give up over 7 yards per play. I mean, Ole Miss did whatever they wanted to do, and I don't know what changes on that end for Tulane defensively. Tulane's only shot is just to keep up with them and go score for score with them, and I don't think they can do that either. Ole Miss overwhelmed them at the line of scrimmage. Tulane was able to run the ball decently in the first game, but it's just, I think it's really tough, especially when your coach is already taking another job. And, you know, Summerall, like, how much is he putting into this? I'm sure he's trying to get them ready. But, yeah, I laid it with Ole Miss and I laid it with Oregon.
Hey, guys, Tim Banks thinks that Tulane defense is bad, okay? That's how bad they are.
It's been bad all year, Tone. Like, that's why I haven't liked that team. I really haven't liked them all year long. I just haven't, you know, and I would be okay with G5. I'm okay with G5 teams getting in if it's like the Cincinnati team back in the day. Sure. But we're in the era now of the NIL and the portal to where these G5 teams are getting picked apart, and there's no good teams in the G5 anymore. They're just not.
The problem is, too, it screws up the matchups. Like, we're back to this again. It screws up the matchups in the playoffs where they're marring 2 games this weekend. These games are precious.
Imagine if this was Vandy going to Oregon and Notre Dame going to Oxford.
Damn, man. I mean, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Ain't that
Notre Dame would be favored in Oxford.
Notre Dame would be favored, yeah.
Yes,
they would be favored.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is like, don't ever let these G5s out of here. We love it.
Oh, amen. Ole Miss has a chance to win.
How about that? We got a playoff game. 6
Yeah.
versus 11, and neither one of their head coaches are sticking around.
Wow.
We got one coach gone and one with one foot out the door in a playoff game.
The sport is totally idiotic. And with that in mind, now that we move off those 2 playoff games, let's get to some of these idiotic bowl games between now and December 26th. Will, do you see anything on the card as I come back to you calling your name, be it Washington State, Utah State, which is a Monday game. Tuesday, we've got Toledo and Louisville in the middle of the afternoon. And then Tuesday, middle of the in the evening, early evening hours / late afternoon, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. That night, late night, UNLV, Ohio. Christmas Eve, Cal and Hawaii. And then December 26th, we've got Central Michigan, Northwestern, New Mexico, Minnesota, Florida International, Texas, San Antonio.
It's a lot of good stuff you just threw out there.
Boy, I'm telling you. Who said there's too many bowl games?
Well, we do have one that's early Friday, 2:30. Yeah. Memphis, NC State, which originally I wouldn't have cared, but Hollywood Smothers entered the portal today.
Okay.
Lee, correct me if I'm wrong, top 3 running back in the ACC this year. I mean, really good. Really good.
Yeah, I saw where he went in. There was a bunch of guys that were questionable as to whether or not they were going to opt out. A lot of playmakers on both sides, like Justin Jolie. I don't know if he's playing yet in that game or not. I was kind of hoping to get some info on those guys.
CJ Bailey is rumored to be going into the portal. I don't know.
On his way to Miami, guys. He's on his way to Miami.
CJ Bailey. So he's out of this game.
I don't know if he's in or out. I haven't seen that.
I would keep your eye there. Maybe worth a look at Memphis. A lot of unknowns there, but like Lee said, if you think that you're missing your quarterback and your running back, then maybe you take a Memphis team that was pretty up and down this year, but at times looked like the G5 representative in the playoffs. So I don't know. I haven't dug into a whole lot of it, but that reminded me because Smothers went into the portal and he's really explosive. And so the offense kind of loses a lot without him having that popping potential. The other one I kind of like, but you know my history with Cal. Doesn't matter. I can't do it with Cal. For or against them, just something about that university. Maybe it's because they're out there in crazy land. But anyways, I would lean Hawaii in that one. kind of a home bowl game, if you will. I know California is kind of out there too. But that, Hawaii had a nice year. There's a lot of there's kind of some unknowns at Cal going on with the coach. They ended up winning against, who was it? Right after they let their coach go.
SMU.
Beat SMU.
Which is
That's
crazy.
right. They
It was
beat
crazy.
SMU.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the, hey, get up and fight for your guy. But this is one I could see Hawaii's probably a little bit better prepared for, because I don't know what the focus level is like at Cal.
Hey, Lee, is anything calling your name from these quote unquote lesser bowls? Just give me a couple.
Yeah, I'll give you two. Yeah. I'll get just two from now until next week when we talk again. The first one, that Hawaii Cal game. I like the over in that game. I think there's going to be a ton of points. That game's on Christmas Eve. It's like the only sporting event going on Christmas Eve, and that's going to be a fun game. I do like Hawaii as well. Hawaii's taking money. They were a dog. Now they're like -1. I think that's the right move here. Most everybody's going to play on both sides. Nick Rolovich took over for Cal, and I guess SMU, what they did was they went a ton of tempo. They sped it up. They ran a bazillion plays, and they caught SMU off guard. He started taking advantage of his young quarterback, Saga Puatelli, or whatever his name is.
Yes.
And they're going to do that again. Like, they're going to go fast. They're going to put the ball in his hands. They're going to throw it all around the field. I expect there to be a lot of points. That's all Hawaii does is throw the ball. Both teams are going to go fast, use tempo. I think you're going to get a lot of points in that game. But I think Hawaii's better. At no point during the season did I ever have Cal power rated ahead of Hawaii. I don't know why they opened up as a favorite. But I like Hawaii in that game, and I like a lot of points. I like the over. And then the other game is, I believe this one is on Friday. Yeah, it's on Friday afternoon, next Friday afternoon. So depending on when we record, it'll probably already start. But New Mexico is playing Minnesota, and I really like New Mexico. I played them +3. They're down to +2 now. That's fine. Just I've got some money line with New Mexico. They're going to be the fully motivated squad here. First year with Jason Eck. He's done a really good job there. Like I said, that they got a chance. They didn't get stuck in their own bowl game in New Mexico, so they're actually getting to travel to Phoenix to play in this, so they're going to be up for this. PJ Fleck, he has a really good bowl record. I'm fully aware of what Fleck's done in bowls, but New Mexico's the motivated team here. They rely on explosives. I think they can hit them on Minnesota. Minnesota's Darius Taylor, their all-world running back, is opted out. He's not playing in this. New Mexico playing a Power 4 team. They're going to get up. They're motivated like they haven't been to a bowl in a long time, and he's going to have them ready. He's a really good coach, man. So, yeah, these are the teams that I like to look for in bowl season to play on. I just look at New Mexico on the money line next week.
All right. Anything, guys, from the NFL card between now and then that you guys want to call to our attention here on winners and losers?
I'm going to be on probably Baltimore at home against the Patriots. The Patriots have got the toughest schedule here down the stretch. They blew the lead against the Bills last week. So you think a bounce back spot? Not really. The Ravens are essentially playing for their season. They've been really sloppy, but it's the right side to me in this one. I'm going to fade Phillip Rivers on Monday night. The Niners are hot. I don't know how the Colts are going to be able to stay in that game the same way they did this week or this past week against Seattle. And I think they did that against Seattle because they didn't really have any film on him this decade. And it was kind of like that game Baker just showed up in L.A. and was able to win the game with Sean McVay. But, the Niners have seen what the Colts are trying to do to move the ball. And that one, unless they're able to just run all over them, which is possible, but I don't see him keeping up in that one. And then I'm trying to think if there was one more. Probably the Panthers as home dogs, catching 3 against the Bucs.
Shout out Blair.
They can't win to save their life.
That was awful. Terrible loss last week to New Orleans. That was man.
That would be my teaser leg of the week. Would be the Panthers if you give them 8.5, 9.
Unbelievable. My friends at Dos Equis Lager Especial, your Golden Pilsner style beer, made from a choice of hops, a balanced composition, smooth, clean finish. Party guest always invited, never overstays his welcome. golden Pilsner style beer, nuanced blend of malts and earth tones, flavorful yet light tasting, smooth, balanced composition, that clean finish. And let me tell you something, that's 131 calories of pure bliss. Rub the bottleneck. Can or glass rim with some lime. Dip it in some salt to taste. You will lick, you will drink, you will repeat. You'll come back again and again and again and again. But Lee, in the meantime, from your perspective, from the NFL, we've got the full card this weekend. We've also got those games around the Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, because they've told the NBA, get out my face. I don't get it, because the NFL right now is kind of a worked up product as far as I'm concerned. You've got double-digit teams already eliminated, and we're not even in the third. We haven't even played the third to last weekend of the season. I mean, we still have 3 games left in a league that's supposed to be built on parity. What's happened to the NFL, Lee?
Yeah, you've had just organizations just not being run right, it seems, and it's trickled down onto the field, to where you you definitely have some tiers of teams, and there's some separation there. That's for sure. But yeah, man, the NFL's been really good the last couple of weeks. I feel like I'm seeing things really well. There's some spots I really like this week. First of all, Will's right about the Ravens. That's an absolute smash spot on Sunday night at home. Primetime game. This is where the Ravens just come out and handle business. They do this all the time at home. Laying 3, it's a good number with the Ravens. Fading the Patriots. Like, the Ravens have to have this. Coming off their bye week, the Ravens have really started to turn things around defensively. Still not totally right offensively, but secretly this Patriots defense kind of sucks. If you're being honest, like, it's not all that great. So love the Ravens. Couple other ones. Really like the Jags catching 3 on the road against the Broncos. The Broncos coming off an absolute war against the Packers last week. Broncos have won 11 in a row. Going back to 1990, teams that have won 11 games in a row were 14-36 against the spread. I just think this is a sell on the Broncos, who keep every game comes down to the wire for them. Comes down to like the last play. And this Jags team is playing really, really well. They're getting better every week. They still got a chance to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think the Jags go into Denver, and I think they win that game. The other one that I really like is the Titans catching 3.5 at home to the Chiefs. Someone please tell me why the Chiefs even get off the bus on Sunday. I know it's the Titans, but Chiefs just had their playoffs hope ended. Mahomes is obviously out for the year, but it's not just Mahomes. The whole cluster injuries, all on the offensive line, cluster injuries on their whole receiving core. They don't have anybody left. They're just going to have to go out there and just hand the ball off and run it. And the one thing that the Titans can do defensively is stop the run. Offensively, the Titans have gotten a run game going the last couple of weeks. Like, this is going to be important for the Titans. Hey, if you can get a win over the Chiefs, even though it's a shell of themselves, that's still big for that organization. Like, I don't think the Chiefs show up with Gardner Minshew. Really like the Titans. And it's ugly, but I took the 14 points with the Raiders on the road against the Texans. Like, this is the ultimate sell high spot on the Texans. Everybody loves them. 14 is crazy. The Raiders have been blown out like five times already this year, and every time they've gotten blown out, they come back the next week and they play relatively decent and they cover. They're 4-1 the week after they get beat pretty bad, and they're coming off a shutout loss. So historically, this is a great spot for teams that get shut out and get blown out in the NFL. They're still professionals. They're going to show up the next week and they're going to play pretty hard. The Texans' offense is still lousy. They're like 30th in the league in red zone touchdown percentage. It's not a good offense. So the Raiders, they're not going to win, but they'll keep this close. Carroll will kick a meaningless field goal if he has to at the end to get within the number. So, yeah, it's kind of ugly, but like the Raiders, like the Titans, love the Ravens, and really like the Jags.
Yeah, there's a lot of nose holding going on as you make those picks, but what you say about the Titans makes sense. The other thing that speaks to me about the Titans winning in this spot is they're a horrible organization that should lose out, and it would be the most losing organization thing to go ahead and win a meaningless game without Mahomes there. And
exactly, and the Chiefs are not. They're a smart organization. You know what they want to do? They want to lose.
That's exactly right. Yes. That's the point. And make it look good while you're doing it. And I've got I got a family friend, Will. You'll like guess it's going down there because my buddy's wife wants to see Taylor Swift, and I told him she's not playing. Yeah, but she's gonna be in the building. I said I'm not so sure she's gonna be in the building for this one. She might tell Travie Trav, hey Travie Trav, you're on your own for that, brah.
Well, Travie Trav's replacement might be on his way in if the Chiefs get high enough in the draft. They'll take the Sadiq kid from Oregon.
Let's go.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one. Or if they just lose them all, like you said, get in that top 12 pick range and take Jeremiah Love.
Let's go. Oh. Let's go. And maybe the Titans will cooperate on Sunday.
The Chiefs weren't even good before. They haven't even been good all year anyway.
No.
To be honest.
No.
I mean, just being honest.
No.
They need to sell off a little bit.
You know, guys, looking back on it, what the Eagles did to the Chiefs last year was no fluke, really, because it's over for the Chiefs. This iteration of them. Now, as long as you have Mahomes and he recovers, there can be another iteration of him, but it was terrible. That was brutal, seeing him leave the field last week. He's truly one of the great players of our time. I do want to say, before we get to some very sundry other issues, my friends at VIP Play have a college football bracket challenge going on right now. Chance for you to win some free bonus bets. Get in there. Let's have some fun. Let's do it over at VIP Play. And I've tweeted it out a couple times. I'll tweet it out again later today a couple more times. Will, if folks are wondering what the bracket challenge is about, talk to us here. It's the College Football Playoff Bracket Challenge.
Yeah, it's the exact same as a March Madness one, just with 12 teams. So it's the second page on the website. You can't miss it, VIPplayapp.com. Or go to you retweeted it, or go to our Twitter page. It's on there. Just go to the website and you'll see it. All you got to do, fill it out. It's free. Like you said, get a chance to win bonus bets. I'm not sure how it's going to be, how the system will be. Like, whoever has the most points gets prize XYZ. I'll have to find out. It's probably on the terms and conditions on the website, but check that out. There will be bowl game boost and all that sort of stuff for the playoffs as we get started with that tomorrow. So yeah,
tonight.
Good. The
playoffs are tonight, my friend. Gambling problem 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee. Let me say this, guys. From the outset of the tournament, Lee, who's going to win the tournament? 12 teams. You got those two Crip teams don't belong, so really it's a 10-team deal. Who's going to win the tournament, Lee?
I think we get Ohio State versus Indiana again, and I'd favor Ohio State in the rematch, but
okay.
I think to me it's pretty simple. I think they're the two best teams in the country, and I think that's who we get. So,
all right, who you got, Will?
I've got some Georgia tickets.
I feel that
it's the winner of that semifinal matchup to me. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Ohio State repeat, especially with their path. I think Georgia, Ohio State could be the natty. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Indiana team. They're really, really good. They're for real. They are not imitators, but in a national championship environment, a Ryan Day or a Kirby Smart led bunch. The thing about Ohio State is they really didn't show Indiana that much in the Big Ten championship. There were some one-on-ones on the outside with both Tate and Smith. They're in the red zone that they just were like, we'll just hold that one in our back pocket. And if Indiana gives that to them all day again, if they were to meet in a rematch, I don't see it going the same way. I think it could be, a defensive game. Both teams have great defenses, but I think Ohio State will be able to cash in the red zone, unlike they were able to in Indianapolis. So I'm gonna say Georgia just because that's what I'm holding the most of. But I'd be lying if I said I feel comfortable going into that semifinal game against Ohio State. Probably hedge those a little bit.
I don't hate Georgia because the way their defense is playing right now, and he's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, a dark horse, Texas Tech. Great defense.
Georgia has gotten a pass rush going the last couple of weeks. I mean, that's something they haven't had all year long, so I think that's important. I still got questions about their offense.
Agree.
You know, I think they're going to play a lot like Notre Dame did in the playoffs last year. They're just going to rely on Stockton like a ton with his legs. I think you saw that versus Bama. They really a whole lot of design runs with him. For me, Notre Dame not being in this thing just kind of clears it up for me. It just to me just seems like Indiana and Ohio State. Like, yeah, I'm not counting out. I wouldn't count out Georgia, especially if Ohio State keeps this thing conservative. I don't understand what they did against Indiana. Like, I understand it during the regular seasons, like slow playing stuff, but you have the best team in the country, the best athletes, best roster top to bottom. You want to run a lot of plays. You don't want to like let variance get a hold of your games by slow playing this and running the fewest amount of plays possible. Like, you got to speed this up and open this up and start attacking like they did last year when the playoffs started. If they do that, I think Ohio State wins this. If they don't, then they're going to find themselves in trouble. So,
you know, Lee, the other curious thing about Ohio State is that if you look at the usage rates, the way they're not playing those receivers together at a tremendously high percentage, like Will was talking about, why you wouldn't have those two guys out there together all the time.
It's a lot of 11 personnel.
It makes zero sense, guys. It's like
the personnel groupings. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's wild. Yeah. So, like I said, all year I understand why they were doing it. I don't know why they did it against Indiana. But if that's their plan, is to keep playing like this, like I think they can get caught, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, on the way out, guys, let's laugh a little. Lee, do you have anything on Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua? Do you pay attention? Because there's no UFC card. I think that's what they're banking on, that they could have the combat sports themselves. And some of the MMA pods that I follow talk about this stuff like it's for real. Do either one of you pay attention to this? What gives with Jake Paul? Explain this to an old guy like me. Why do people care? Lee,
I don't follow it, Tone. Like I'm probably not the best person to give an opinion on this. I can't get into boxing. There's some boxing like title fights that I really like and really get into, but this stuff, like, I've got no interest in, to be honest. Like, I mean, Joshua should kill him. Like, if this were a real competitive boxing match where you knew there was nothing shady going on,
right?
Like, then Anthony Joshua minus 810 is probably a ton of value.
Right.
You know, but would I lay 810 to win 100 in a Jake Paul fight? Like, no way. I have no idea what's in those contracts they signed. Like, what? It's just, yeah. I mean, you would think Joshua cleans them up, but I have no idea, man. It seems whatever, it's going to be fishy regardless.
Hey, Lee, I've tried to watch some of this Jake Paul stuff before, and literally I feel violated. And, of course, I am violating because I do it on Chinese streams. No offense to the Chinese. I like their streams. But the concept of sitting there and looking at that, I feel like I'm watching Screech fight Tanya Harding back in the day in Atlantic City. I mean, what are we doing? How about you, Will? Will you watch the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua brawl for it all? It doesn't sound like it.
I don't know. I don't know when it is. I don't.
Okay.
I don't subscribe to.
I love Lee. Lee knew the number on it, which I love because Lee's a damn. He's in the weeds over here. He knew the number.
Yeah, I mean, it's right in front of me, man. The books are trying to sell it, man. Yeah, I have to look at it. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll bet on it. Like, if I knew for sure that everything was on the up and up,
yes,
I would probably bet Joshua. Like, I would find a way to probably bet him. But I have no way would I do it because I don't trust anything with that sport. You know what I mean?
I would take Jake Paul until he loses.
I probably would. No, Will's right. I probably would take Jake Paul at plus the $6.
Whatever he is, he's like
I've never heard of the other guy. And the only reason I've heard of Jake Paul is because of this stuff he's doing.
Boxing is so off the radar that it's allowed a guy like Jake Paul, who's a YouTuber, I guess, to come in there and do what he's doing. It's bizarre, utterly bizarre.
There are a couple of big basketball games on Saturday.
Hit it. Let me hear them. Hit it.
We don't have lines for them, so you're kind of guessing a little bit. But just general, St. John's and Kentucky are playing on Saturday morning.
Nice.
I believe that's being played in Atlanta.
Nice.
That game should be pretty. That game should be pretty close to a pick'em. And I would fade Kentucky. I think that team is fatally flawed. I don't think it's fixable the way the roster is constructed. I think Pope knows it. I think that's why he's about to break down in tears in every press conference. I think you're gonna get that about a pickup. St. John's hasn't been great to start the season, but yeah, I think that's a good price to fade Kentucky. And you're also getting Texas Tech and Duke are playing. Guess where they're playing, Tone? Texas Tech and Duke. Take a wild guess.
That'd be Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that would be Madison Square Garden on Saturday. Texas
home,
Tech
and
Duke.
I wonder why they do that. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, Duke's going to be laying probably close to maybe even 10 here. And I would probably actually lay it with Duke there. Like you said, that is pretty much their second home when they've already played there. And Duke is one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the country. And this Texas Tech team's is really got some issues going on, man. Their defense is not there. I think Duke really puts it on them. And the other game, real quick, is Houston is playing Arkansas. That's being played in Newark, New Jersey, I think. And Arkansas should be a dog, catching about 5 or 6 points, and I would take a look at the Hogs in that one.
All right, so Lee's on the hoops train there. You can hear the train in the background. He's on the hoops train. I love the natural sound. Do you boys have anything else you'd care to share? As I wish everybody a wonderful holiday season, a wonderful betting weekend. I hope it's safe and prosperous for you, and you're hanging out with those that you love and appreciate. Anything else, gentlemen, that you guys would care to share on this edition of Winners and Losers?
And then there were 3.
And then there were 3.
Brother.
Yep. We this is a survival. We're in survivor mode over here. Survivor mode. I want to thank my friends at Dos Equis Lager Especial one more time. Cervezas Mexicanas 2025, White Plains, New York. Shout out to our friends at VIP Play. Get involved in the Pick'em deal. Fill out your bracket. It's pretty much that simple. And kind of in a weird way, because I think it's a down year for the SEC in football in terms of having elite teams. I've got a weird feeling that Georgia's going to have a really good tournament here at the end of the year. We'll see what happens. I have a weird feeling that Georgia's defense has come and they're getting ready to make some noise. I do know this. There's a lot wrong with the playoffs, but Oklahoma hosting a home game with Alabama is pretty damn cool in a nighttime playoff game. I'm popping for that already. So enjoy the action. Enjoy yourself. Neither one of the guys on the committee today or on the panel hated on my Philadelphia Eagles, I'll have you know. And you couldn't find a Cowboy fan right now with a search warrant, and don't you dare look in the playoffs for one, because you ain't going to find one. In the meantime, I want to thank Will Heflin. I want to thank Nashville Lee. I want to thank the panelists that couldn't make it because they're hanging out with Familia, or as we say in Italiano, Famiglia. We appreciate you. I hope you have a great one. I want to thank my friends at Dos Equis and VIP Play. And as always, the constant admonition, you hit those winners and stay away from those losers. We love you. We appreciate you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All that good stuff. Peace.